Good evening, everybody. It feels so good to finally have Eagles football back. The Philadelphia Eagles taking warm-ups right now, and they are getting ready. The season is just 15 minutes away from getting underway, and the Eagles will hope to turn the page on what was a disappointing end to last season, officially starting their quest for New Orleans and Super Bowl 59. That game has a long way to go, but it runs through Arena Corinthians in Sao Paulo, Brazil, as the Philadelphia Eagles officially play host to the Green Bay Packers for the season opener. It's week 1, and boy, does it feel good to be here. That excitement, that anticipation, we've been waiting all season, all off season, for the start of this new NFL season. We've been waiting since January, since that devastating loss to Tampa Bay. You've been waiting through free agency, all the highs and lows in free agency, the acquisition of Saquon Barkley, the drafting of Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, all of these guys, all of these moves, bringing us through the dead of the offseason, finally through training camp, through the preseason, and we are here. We have made it, and everybody, this is going to be a great night for football. In Sao Paulo, technically it is still winter over there because they are in the southern hemisphere, so their temperature right now is 63 degrees with 88% humidity. Winds are from the southeast, about 6 miles an hour. So it's going to be a great night for football. And the Eagles wearing their white and black. The Eagles will be in an homage to the Corinthians football club that normally plays there, forcing the Green Bay Packers to wear green, which is the color of the most hated rival of the FC Corinthians down in Sao Paulo, the Palmeiras. So a little bit of hoping to create a little bit of a home field advantage. The field and the color scheme for Arena Corinthians is black and white for the Eagles. So we will see how all that pans out. But this is going to be a great night. It's always a great night because Eagles fans see their team take the field for the first time in the regular season. And all this waiting, all this anticipation finally comes to an end as the Philadelphia Eagles kick off their regular season. Welcome to Birds Nest Media's coverage of Week 1 in the NFL. The Philadelphia Eagles playing host to the Green Bay Packers. I'm Joe Donahue. Thank you so much for joining us. We are just about, we'll call that about 11 minutes away from kickoff. This game is being live streamed, or game footage is being live streamed nationwide on Peacock. So you will want to check that out. If you are in the Philadelphia or Green Bay areas, as is custom with the NFL, you will be able to catch the game on your local NBC channel. So your local over-the-air NBC channel for Philadelphia, it's NBC 10 WCAU. For the Green Bay Packers, if you're in the Green Bay area, I believe it's NBC 26 is your channel. So that's the way to catch the game for free in those markets. For anybody else, the only legal way to catch game footage is through Peacock. But if you're here, I'll be calling the game just as per normal. So I'll do my best to paint a picture for you and make it feel like you're watching the game itself. again, we're just about 10 minutes away from kickoff. So just a couple of quick notes here. So first off, last night was the official kickoff game, and that was the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Baltimore Ravens, and that was a really good game last night. Came down to the wire. Definitely some interesting calls when it came to the illegal formation stuff. Definitely that was something that was of note. The Baltimore Ravens didn't seem like they could line up properly at all. And then coming down to a toe. I mean, coming down to making sure that call is correct. And yeah, the toe was out of bounds. So sorry, Ravens fans. But yeah, that's where things stand. That was just an incredible game. As for tonight, the Philadelphia Eagles, again, they announced their inactives. So we knew coming into this that one of the teams, actually, very simply put, would not be we knew, very simply put, one of the teams just would not. One of the players simply would not make the trip down. So Devin White, linebacker, sustained a ankle injury. He is out. He did not even make the trip down. Additionally, Isaiah Rodgers, who was on the injured list, or on the injury report, he was dealing with a hand injury. He also is not participating in this game. So the Eagles inactives, Tanner McKee as the emergency third-string quarterback. Then you have Isaiah Rodgers, inactive. Devin White, inactive. Jalix Hunt is inactive. Darian Kinnard is inactive. Trevor Keegan is inactive. And then Byron Young is inactive. So Isaiah Rodgers, cornerback. Devin White, linebacker. Jalix Hunt, outside linebacker. Darian Kinnard is a tackle and a guard, kind of a switch hitter on the line. And then Trevor Keegan and Byron Young. Bear with me 1 second here, because I'm watching this. I'm trying to get this on NBC 10. And they're showing a rebroadcast right now of the NBC Nightly News, which hopefully that's going to be fixed. Appreciate your patience here. And we're just kind of waiting through here. I'm waiting on NBC to switch over. What are your thoughts coming into this game? What are you guys hoping for? Um, Definitely feel free to drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you over the course of the game tonight. Alrighty, here we go. Finally cut over. They're doing the national anthems. All right. And doing the national anthems, and things are getting ready to kick off. Just a few minutes away. Definitely feel free to like and subscribe to Birds Nest Media as well. Really helps the channel out. We're going to try to bring you as many games as possible over the course of the regular season. Definitely going to try to have exciting football content for you as well. Hopefully some interesting guests. We'll figure that out as we move things along through the season. But again, I appreciate you hanging out here, and this game is about to be underway. We're just a few minutes away. So just a couple of notes here. We ran through the Eagles inactives. So the Packers have Malik Heath, Marshawn Lloyd, Aaron Mosby, Brenton Cox Jr., Kadeem Telfort, and Travis Glover as the inactives. So those are going to be the players who are not starting there. Marshawn Lloyd was dealing with injury over the course of this week. He was listed as questionable coming in. He is officially inactive. Additionally, Emmanuel Wilson was also dealing with injury, but he is one of the active running backs. So the Packers do have two running backs. They have Josh Jacobs and Emmanuel Wilson as their running backs. It looks like Josh Jacobs, though, is going to be the starter. The officials for tonight's game, the referee is Ronald Torbert. The umpire is Barry Anderson. The down judge is Frank LeBlanc. The line judge is Brian Bollinger. Field judge Ryan Dixon. Side judge Keith Washington. Back judge Tony Jocelyn. Replay official Mike Chase. And replay assistant Jamie Alfieri Truss. So those are your officials' lineups, and certainly we hope that they don't play a factor into the game so much as they did last night with the Ravens. But we are just a couple of minutes away here, waiting on the results of the kickoff. Again, it's 63 degrees. Technically, it is winter in Sao Paulo because Sao Paulo is in the southern hemisphere. So it's still technically summer for us here in the U.S., so it's technically winter for the southern hemisphere. 63 degrees, 87% humidity. Winds are coming out of the southeast at 4 miles an hour. They are about to do the coin toss, it looks like. months and months for Eagles fans trying to hoping that we're going to be ready to turn the page here, and we will find out where things stand on that tonight. If you didn't catch any of the preseason, just a reminder, there are new kickoff rules. So there's now kind of like a landing zone that the ball has to land in. So the ball needs to land inside the 20. Teams will line up. The kicking team, with the exception of the kicker, will line up at the 40-yard line. The return team will line up at the 35. Thereabouts of the return team. So everybody will line up there. They line up pretty much right next to each other. The kickoff is still going to occur from the kicking team's 35-yard line, and it will the ball needs to land inside the 20 or be touched by a player inside the 20 in order for it to be a valid kickoff. If it sails through the end zone, then it becomes a touchback, and the touchback line for that situation is the 30-yard line. Whereas if it bounces in the landing zone and goes out of the end zone, it is a touchback that brings it out to the 20-yard line. So no more will kickoffs go out of the end zone start at the 25. The Eagles did win the toss and deferred, so the Packers will get things going. And Jake Elliott, actually it looks like Braden Mann is lining up to do this. So Mann is kicking it away. And we already have our first flag of the game, folks. I did not see where the ball went out, or where the ball went. Yeah, we'll see what's going on here. And it's the favorite penalty of last night, illegal formation. So that's going to be enforced at the 30-yard line. So the Packers will pick things up at the 35, and we will get this game underway here. The ball went out of the end zone, so it was a touchback to the 30, and then the illegal formation penalty tacks it on to the 35. So, all right, so we have Jordan Love lining up for the Packers. And he lines up under center with a back in the backfield. Man goes in motion to the near side. Love takes the snap, hands it off, and dropped in the backfield pretty much immediately is going to be Josh Jacobs, the running back. That's going to be Josh Sweat on the stop. And that is going to be a loss of 1 officially, and that is going to bring up 2nd and 11. So already, Eagles getting into the backfield. Eagles shutting down a play and forcing the Packers to go into a 2nd and long situation here. So if you're an Eagles fan, you like to see that, and you want to see more of that. So we got 2nd and 11. Love is in the gun. We got a back behind him. We got a man going in motion to the near side. Love takes a snap, back looking, throws. That is going to be caught and dropped immediately. Is Christian Watson. So that is going to be a 5-yard pickup. It's going to bring up 3rd and 6, gets up to the 39-yard line. We are approaching the 14-minute mark left in the first quarter of this game. So I'll try to do a countdown sync here. Again, I'm getting this game over the air. If you're watching this needs to be on Peacock. We got Love in the gun with an empty backfield. Man is going in motion to the near side. That's Watson going in motion to the towards the near side. Now he lines up. I'm sorry, that's Jacobs. Love takes a snap, back looking, throwing, and that is going to be caught down the sideline for a first down, and that is going to be Romeo Dobbs, and that is the first down of this game. Gets pushed out of bounds at the 42-yard line of the Eagles. That is a first down. It's a 19-yard pickup. And it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Eagles' 42-yard line. So the Packers do get into Eagles territory on their first drive. Avonte Maddox was there on the pushout. We're at about the 13-minute mark. Love is under center with the back in the backfield. We got a man in motion. Love takes a snap, hands it off, and that's going to be Jacobs, and he's going to pick up, let's call that about 4 there. They will credit him for 4. So it is 2nd and 6, gets up to the 38-yard line, and that is Zach Bond, who is starting at... Zach Bond is starting at linebacker for the Eagles in the absence of Devin White. So it's Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond as the Eagles linebackers. So we got 2nd and 6, ball on the 38, Love under center. We've got Jacobs in the backfield, man going in motion to the near side. Love takes the snap. He hands it off. He is going to get dropped immediately. That is Josh Jacobs. Gets up to the line of scrimmage. Maybe credited with a yard, but not really a whole lot there. Yeah, that is going to be no gain. And it is Zach Bond and Nolan Smith there. So no huddle. Love under center takes the snap back, looking throws. That is caught. We do have flags down. And that is going to be a touchdown for Jaden Reed for the Packers. Now, that is all contingent on whether or not this flag walks the Packers back. We'll see what happens there. Packers are celebrating, but we will see here. Reed was wide open, but there were like 3 flags in the secondary. So the officials are having a conversation about this. Clock is stopped at 11:52, pending the outcome of this flag. It is temporarily a touchdown here. Nick Sirianni doesn't look happy. It is too many men on the field. That's going to be enforced at the 38, so that does negate the entirety of the play. And too many men on the field for the Eagles as well. So those penalties will actually offset, and they're going to replay the down. Yeah, you got Bryce Huff trying to run off to the sideline, and that did not go well. All right, so we got everything slowed down now. Clock stopped 11:52. Love takes the snap back, looking, throwing, looking for Christian Watson, incomplete, and that was Quinyon Mitchell there on the coverage, but it was way overthrown. Would have been in the end zone, though, if he had caught that. So that is going to bring up 4th and 6, and that will probably send the Packers field goal unit on the field. Yep, that was Christian Watson there. Yeah, a little bit of a grabby grab on the thing. Now the Packers are going to keep their offense out on the field. Play clock winding down a little bit. Okay, and the Packers are going to take their first charged timeout of this half. So, clock is stopped at 11:47. Again, I'm going to try to do a sync for you as soon as we can here. But, yeah, the Packers had... everybody had 12 men on the field. There was a lot of confusion going on. All right, so clock is stopped. We got 11:47. Nick Sirianni still talking to the officials, trying to figure out what was going on there, because the Eagles did try to get the 12th man off the field. And I am a little surprised that the officials didn't try to put a stop there on that, because defense needs to be allowed to have substitutions. All right, Love in the gun, back to his left. Man goes in motion to the far side. Love now we've got like a false start. I'm sure that's a false start, so that's gonna walk them back. Everybody moved, but the Love did not have the football, so that is absolutely a false start. Yeah, they're gonna get number 50. That's Zach Tom, the wide receiver. I'm sorry, not the wide receiver, one of the linemen, right tackle for the Packers. So that will negate the 4th and 6. It'll make it 4th and 11. We'll see what the Packers decide to do. It's going to be at the 43, and it looks like now the field goal unit is on the field. Daniel Whelan is the kicker for the Packers. Or no, I'm sorry. Daniel Whelan's the punter. So the Packers are going to punt this away. Got 11:47 left in the first quarter here. So Whelan's going to give it a boot. And that's going to get out of bounds, probably around the 5-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. It actually looks like it's going to be closer to the 10, but no return by Braden Mann as it goes out of bounds, and that is where the Eagles will pick it up. 1st and 10 from the 10. And yeah, that's where things stand. So with 11:40 left in the first quarter, Packers had a 6-play, 22-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 20 seconds, but nothing to show for it because there were a number of penalties that occurred towards the end of the drive that marched them back and negated what would have been a touchdown. So now it's time for the Eagles and Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense to take the field and see what's going on. So let me know what your thoughts were about that first drive. What did you like? What'd you like about it? What didn't you like about it? Love to hear from you in the chat. And then definitely feel free to like and subscribe to Bird's Nest Media because it really helps the channel out. I did like the Eagles getting pressure early. I did like the Eagles being able to shut down the run, being able to keep the ball from keep them from really utilizing a run game on the first couple of plays. That's really important. Because if you're able to rule out an element of the game, then you really only have to worry about defending against the one element that remains. So if you're able to take the run game out completely, you have the passing game that you really only have to contend with. And I really like the fact that the Eagles were able to get a handle on that. Josh Jacobs really only picked up 3 yards on that first drive in terms of the run game. There were a couple of deep passes, wasn't particularly thrilled about. A couple of open coverage situations. A couple of guys left wide open. That pass that would have been a touchdown. The fact that was that they were wide open, even if the Eagles had 12 guys on the field, definitely concerning here. But yeah, definitely let me know what your thoughts were on that first drive. And yeah, the Eagles have it is 1st and 10 for the Eagles. We're coming back from the commercial break. Both the Eagles and the Packers are running watch parties at their respective stadiums. So here we go. 11:40 left in the first. Jalen Hurts under center. We got a back in the backfield. That's Saquon Barkley. A.J. Brown wide out to the near side. Devontae Smith wide out to the far side. Play clock is at 5 seconds. 4. Hurts takes a snap, does a quick dump off to Saquon Barkley, and is tripped up over his own feet immediately, and they lose 5 yards on that. So I don't know what happened there. The Eagles, Saquon Barkley slipped, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and 15 situation. So not a great start for Saquon Barkley here. We'll see if the Eagles offense is able to take advantage of that. Or able to rebound from that. But yeah, 2nd and 15 now from the 5-yard line. And that's going to put pressure on the pass game. Hurts is in the gun. We got it back to his left. Devontae Smith goes in motion to the far side. Hurts takes a snap back, looking, throwing, overthrows A.J. Brown just out of reach. A.J. Brown was leaping. He was triple covered. Almost had him, but was unable to, A.J. Brown was unable to haul it in, and that is going to bring up 3rd and 15. Clock is stopped at 10:57 left in the first quarter here, so Eagles have a 3rd and long situation, and Yeah. So Hurts in the gun takes a snap. Back. Looking. Throwing deep. Has Devontae Smith and is picked off. And that's going to get down to the 20, down to the 19, and that is where number 29 of the Packers, that's Xavier McKinney, picks off Jalen Hurts, and that is a disaster of a first drive. That does not look good. So that's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Packers now, from the Eagles' 19-yard line. So yeah, that is not great. Yeah, I mean, Xavier McKinney had a good read on that pass. Devontae Smith was too focused on trying to get Quay Walker out of the situation here, but that does put a early end to the Eagles' first drive here. So we got 10:46 left in the first. Jordan Love in the gun with an empty backfield. Play clock winding down. Love takes the snap. He's back. Pressure coming. Love is going to get sacked immediately. Love is going to lose about 5 or 6 yards there, depending on how many yards they credit there. But yeah, Love gets sacked immediately. And on the sack was Zach Baun, again starting at linebacker, and now we've got a penalty that's going to negate all that. So they get Jalen Carter for unnecessary roughness, so that's in a half the distance to the goal situation. I have no idea what the unnecessary roughness of this was, but it was... That's going to negate a sack that's going to negate a sack, and that is going to bring a 1st and 10 from the Eagles' 12-yard line. So, ugh. All right, so we got Love in the gun. We got it back to his right. Love takes a snap, fakes the handoff. No, he does hand it off, and is going to get stopped immediately. And that was C.J. Gardner-Johnson there on the stop. Oh, yeah. That's what it was. Yeah, Jalen Carter kind of like messed with somebody's face mask. That, or at the very least, if not actually thrown a punt. That's no bueno. You can't do that. All right, so we got Love under center. We got it back in the backfield. Love takes the snap, fakes the handoff, pressure coming. Love's going to throw, and that is going to be caught and stopped pretty immediately. We do have a flag down. That on the reception was Luke Musgrave, the tight end. And it looks like it's going to be offensive holding is what they're going to get. So we got 9:31 left in the first. Yep, they are going to get number 63, Rasheed Walker, the tackle there for offensive holding, and that is going to negate the pass entirely. It's going to bring up 2nd and 20 from the Eagles' 22-yard line. Yeah, he was holding. He was holding Josh Sweat, who if he doesn't hold Josh Sweat, Josh Sweat's going to have a sack there. So 3rd and 20. Love in the gun, empty backfield. Love takes a snap, back, looking, quick throw, and incomplete. Yeah, incomplete. Looking for Dontavian Wicks, and that is going to bring up a 3rd and 20 situation from the Eagles' 22. We got 9:13 left in this first quarter here. So the Packers have had 3 plays, and they've lost 3 yards in total. Again, while you're here, please feel free to like and subscribe. Drop a comment. Love to hear from you. 9:13 left. It's 3rd and 20. Love in the gun, back to his left. Love takes a snap, back looking, throwing. That is going to be caught behind the line of scrimmage by Josh Jacobs, and they are going to power forward, but not get inside the 15, but nowhere near where the first down marker is. So that should send the kicking unit on to try to attempt a field goal here. It is going to be 4th and 11 from the Eagles' 13-yard line. And we're going to see Braden Narveson, who is the Packers kicker. Rookie out of NC State. 8.5 left in the first quarter. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. So, it was a long time coming, but we do have our first score of the game here. And the Packers draw first blood via a field goal. And it is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles 0, the Green Bay Packers 3. Yeah, so again, just let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Not a great... that was not happy with that interception. Absolutely not awesome at all. I mean, it was a good read by Xavier McKinney. It was a really good read by Xavier McKinney to undercut that route and be able to get the interception. My problem is that Devontae Smith was too focused on trying to fend off Quay Walker than he was trying to catch the football. So that, I think, needs to get worked out very, very quickly. But the defense let up a bunch of mistakes here. But the fact that they were able to hold the Packers to a field goal when the Packers were starting deep in Eagles territory definitely is saying something there. And again, Josh Jacobs, the running back, 4 carries, 3 yards. So he didn't really get anything. And if the Eagles are able to keep that performance going, I think that we're really going to see a lot of solid stuff here. I do need to see and we already have a sack in the game too, which is great. The Eagles getting a sack, but yeah, the Eagles need to figure out what's going on with that offense here. So it's time for the offense to kind of get kicking. Yeah. That's where, I mean, my thoughts, it's week 1, so certainly there's going to be some opportunities for improvement. Again, the starters didn't really play at all in the preseason, which I have thoughts about. But yeah, Nick Sirianni is talking with Jalen Carter on the sideline. Jalen Carter kind of let his emotions get a little bit of the best of him. So now the Packers are on to kick this away. The Eagles will get another shot at this. Maybe in better field position. All right, and that is going to be fielded at about the 10. Gets up to the 15, so not really much better field position. But we will try this again here. Eagles will take the field down. Eagles offense takes the field down by 3. We'll see if they're able to move the football. All right, so we got Hurts lining up under center. We got Saquon Barkley in the backfield. We got A.J. Brown to the near side. Grant Calcaterra goes in motion to the far side. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley going to get his footing this time and picks up about 3. Gets up to the 19-yard line. So it was 1st and 10 from the 16. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 7. So we got Hurts lining up Hurts lining up in the gun. We got we got Barkley to his left. Hurts takes a snap, does a quick throw to Dallas Goedert behind the line of scrimmage, and is going to get swallowed up immediately. So it gets back to the line of scrimmage, fortunately, so it's a no gain kind of situation. But we can't be seeing the screens here, guys. I think we're done with the stupid little bubble screens that stopped working at the end of last season. We need to cut away from those. Hurts is in the gun. Barkley to his left. 3rd and 6. 7-19, 7-18, 7-17, 7-16, 7-15, 7-14, 7-13. Play clock is winding down a little bit here. Oh, and that was not great. There was a miscommunication there, and Hurts fumbles it hits Hurts, and it's fumbled, and the Packers recover. So, lots of confusion going on there. Cam Jurgens, new center, has a misfire. It was recovered by Green Bay. It was recovered by Wyatt. Devontae Wyatt, and that is going to bring up a Packers first down. So the Eagles do not look good this Eagles offense does not look good at all here, and Hurts did not look ready for that snap even at all. He looked like horrifically not ready for it. And Hurts and Cam Jurgens are having a conversation on the sidelines. So it's going to be 1st and 10 now. Ball's on the Eagles' 13-yard line. We got Love under center. Love takes a snap, hands it off to Josh Jacobs. Jacobs going to power forward, does get a bunch there, gets up to about the 6-yard line before he's brought down. But we do have a flag here, so we are going to check on this flag, and that is going to be offensive holding on Tucker Kraft, who is the tight end. So that is going to march the Packers back. So it's going to be 1st and 20 now from the Eagles' 23-yard line. Yeah, that's definitely a hold on Nolan Smith Jr. there. Okay. Clock is stopped. So we got 6:57, 6:56, 6:55 left in the first quarter here. We got Love in the gun. We got Jacobs to his right. Love sends a man in motion. Now he calls for the football, fakes a handoff, hands it off, or dumps it off, actually, to number 11, who's going to pick up about 10 there. So they're going to get the penalty yards back. That would be Jaden Reed there on the reception. It was a little screen pass that wound up picking up about. They only credit him 9 yards. So it's going to be a 9-yard pickup. It's going to bring up 2nd and 11 from the Eagles' 14-yard line. Brought down by Reed Blankenship. So it's going to be 6:03, 6:02, 6:01, 6 minutes. Love is in the gun. Empty backfield, man in motion. Love takes a snap. Does a quick throw, and it is going to be caught. Should be short of the first down marker. That is Romeo Doubs on the reception. Yep, it is 3rd and 1 for the Packers at the Eagles' 4-yard line. And Nolan Smith Jr. Darius Slay is able to pull the stop in there. So we got 5:37 left in this first quarter here. There does look to be a stoppage. The clock does appear to be... I guess they were resetting something, so clock's running now. Love is under center. We got it back in the backfield. Love takes a snap, hands it off to Jacobs, and Jacobs is not going to get it. Not going to get it. Eagles front four able to shut down Josh Jacobs. Gets up to the 5-yard line, loses. Actually, is going to lose a yard there, so it's going to bring up 4th and 2 for the Packers from the Eagles' 5-yard line. And we'll see what they decide to do here. They are going to leave the offense out on the field. So we got Love lining up under center. We got Josh Jacobs in the backfield. They could try passing it here. Love going to hand it off to Jacobs, and they're going to, it depends on where they spot it. It's really close to that yellow line. Eagles are saying he didn't get there. Packers are saying they did, obviously. It depends on the spot. And they will say first and goal. So it is going to be first and goal from the 3-yard line for the Packers. And now the Packers are going to take their second charged timeout of the half. That play clock got a little bit too close. So Packers down to 1 timeout left in the half here. Everybody trying to kick the grass out of their cleats. We are not even a quarter of the way through this game, and this field looks very torn up. It looks like the Super Bowl field where the sod father got involved here. So we're at 3:58 left in the first quarter here. First and goal from the 3. Love in the gun, back to his left. Love takes the snap, back, looking, pressure coming. Love's going to throw. There is a flag. It is incomplete. We're going to check on the flag here. It is an incomplete pass looking for Christian Watson. And it is offensive pass interference. They're going to call that on Romeo Doubs, so that is going to negate the incomplete pass. It will march the Packers back 10 yards. It's going to bring up first and goal from the 13. So it's going to bring up first and goal. We're at 3:53 left in the first quarter here. Sound off in the chat what your thoughts are here. Packers have had 5 penalties for 40 yards. Eagles only 1 for 12. All right, so we got Love in the gun. We got it back to his right. Love takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Josh Jacobs. Is going to roll out to his right, throws, and that is going to get caught, and that is going to get down to about the 5-yard line, and that is Tucker Kraft there on that. So that is going to be an 8-yard pickup. It's going to bring up second and goal from the 5. Three and a half left in the first quarter here. It's going to be second and goal. Love under center. Josh Jacobs is in the backfield. Love takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Jacobs. Pressure coming. Love hit as he throws, overthrows. Number 87, that is Romeo Doubs, and that is going to bring up a third and goal for the Packers. Josh Sweat was given credit for the quarterback hit, but Love really had nothing available. Vontae Maddox was on the coverage of Romeo Doubs. And that's going to bring up a third and goal. We got 3:09 left in the first quarter here. Love in the gun. Josh Jacobs to his left. Man in motion to the near side. Love takes a snap, back, looking, pressure coming. Love's going to throw, incomplete, off the hands of Christian Watson. Darius Slay Jr. was right there, but it was in the end zone. So the Packers have taken a couple shots towards the end zone, and both times has come up short. So it's going to bring up fourth and goal for the Packers from the 5-yard line. Now we'll see what the Packers decide to do here. If they go for it on fourth down, they have to score a touchdown, and they're going to send the field goal unit out. So it's going to be a 23-yard attempt again by The kicker, Braden Narvison. Snap hold kick is up, and it is good. And the Packers will take a 6-0 lead. And we need the Eagles to start doing something. With 3:01 left in the first quarter, Packers are on top, 6-0. Still waiting for the Eagles to do something productive here. Again, Eagles defense, in general, no complaints. Obviously, the one unnecessary roughness penalty by Jalen Carter, not awesome, but the fact that they've been able to hold the Packers so far to field goals when the Packers have had really good field position over the course of their drives, like have started 2 of their 3 drives in Eagles territory. Already, like the fact that the Eagles defense has been able to hold them to field goals, something really good. So that's definitely very promising. The Eagles offense needs to get its act together. It does. We can't be doing this kind of nonsense going forward here. But yeah, again, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. For anybody who cares, in Philadelphia, the Phillies are on top of the Miami Marlins. It is 10-1 down there. In terms of watching for the Phillies playoffs. We don't really cover baseball here, but that's just a quick update. Because that's the only other Philadelphia-related action going on right now. No other games in the NFL going on, obviously. But definitely feel free to sound off your thoughts about what you thought about last night's football game. The Kansas City Chiefs coming out on top of a close one against Baltimore. So yeah, both defenses are looking really, really good right now. And the Eagles offense needs to shape up. All right, so we are back. We got 3:01 left in the first quarter here. Braden Narvison on to kick it away. And that is going to sail out of the back of the end zone. So that is going to be a touchback. The Eagles will get the ball to start at their own 30-yard line. So definitely some good stuff there. Best field position the Eagles have had all day. So, but yeah, Xavier, they're showing the replays right now of Xavier McKinney picking off Jalen Hurts, and again, they were really good. That was a really good undercut there. This is the first time the Eagles have had turnovers on the first 2 drives of the season since 2014 against Jacksonville. So, yikes. All right, so we got Hurts in the gun, Saquon Barkley to his left. Hurts takes a snap, back looking, throws. That is going to be caught by Dallas Goedert, and that is going to get up to the 34-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 4. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 6. We have the clock moving here. Britton Covey was in on there. I saw him go on motion, didn't get the chance to mention it, but Britton Covey was in there as the wide receiver 3. So, yeah. All right, so we got Hurts now in the gun. We got Saquon Barkley to his right. A.J. Brown lines up wide out to the near side. Devontae Smith in the slot to the near side. Hurts takes the snap. Hands it off to Barkley. Barkley going to pick up about 3 or 4 there, depending on where they come in and spot it. They're going to spot it up at the 39-yard line, so that's going to bring up 3rd and 1 for the Eagles. So Jeff Hafley is the Packers' new defensive coordinator. That's the situation that the Eagles are contending with on the defensive side of the football. We are inside of 2 minutes left to play in the first quarter here. We got Hurts lining up in the gun. We got Barkley to his left. Hurts making some changes, sends Barkley in motion. Hurts takes the snap. Back looking, pressure coming. Hurts throws. That is going to be caught by A.J. Brown. It's our first A.J. Brown sighting. We do have a flag down here, but pending the outcome of the flag, that is a first down. And it looks like, based off of when they throw it, it looks like it's going to be an offsides. Yeah, they are going to get Kenny Clark for offsides, so that is going to that's going to, obviously that penalty is going to get declined because that was an 8-yard pickup by A.J. Brown. Does get the Eagles up to their own 47, and it is going to bring up a first down for the Eagles. So here we go. We got 1st and 10. It's the Eagles' first down of the game. Hurts is in the gun. Covey goes in motion to the far side. Hurts takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Barkley. Hurts is going to keep it himself. Going to run to the outside, picks up 2 before running out of bounds. And Hurts is stopped by Don DeSandro. Sent back out onto the field. Pushed out of bounds by Bullard there was on the stop. Javon Bullard. Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore in his first season spent his last few seasons with the Chargers and the Cowboys. So we got less than a minute in the first quarter. Hurts is in the gun. Barkley to his right. A.J. Brown wide out to the near side. Devontae Smith in the slot to the near side. Hurts takes a snap. Back looking. Throwing. That's going to be caught by Devontae Smith. Turns, gets the first down, and is stopped right at the first down marker. And that is going to be Brooks and Walker are going to get credit for the stop there. But it is going to give the Eagles a first down. So that's going to also get them into Packers territory. Gets up to the Green Bay 43-yard line. So we got Hurts now in the gun. We got Barkley to his right. See if they get a playoff. They don't have to. We got less than 10 seconds left. Hurts takes a snap, dumps it off to Devontae Smith. Smith going to turn upfield, gets down to about the 35, 34-yard line is where they're going to spot it, and that is going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. So 15 minutes of play. We are through the first 15 minutes of this game, and the Eagles are behind by a touchdown. It is 6-0 in favor of the Packers. So, all right, let's talk about that first quarter. First quarter, defensively, really good. Josh Jacobs, the Packers running back, was held to just 4 yards in the first quarter on 6 carries. So that is, and there were a lot of no gains in that. So that's definitely really good sign. Jordan Love was sacked 1 time for 5 yards. He was 6 for 10 in the first quarter for a total of 60 yards in the air. So again, not bad for the defense. Both defenses are looking really good because Jalen Hurts was 5 for 7 in that first quarter for 30 yards. And then in that first quarter against Saquon Barkley, 3 yards on the ground, and then Jalen Hurts had his own 2-yard run. So receiving wise, we have Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, and Dallas Goedert. The reason why, obviously, the Eagles aren't on the board right now is because the Eagles' first couple of drives, they did not earn a first down. The Eagles only had a couple of first downs towards the end of the first quarter, and that was due to offensive miscues. Jalen Hurts throwing the ball to Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith didn't really have a good, looked like he could have had him, but he was busy fending off Quay Walker, and Xavier McKinney had a really good read on the pass, was able to undercut the throw, able to pick off Jalen Hurts, and was able to get a decent enough return on that. So, and then the second miscue, the second offensive miscue was there was a bad snap that occurred. Jalen Hurts didn't seem to be ready for it. Cam Jurgens just kind of fired the football at him. Hurts didn't seem to be ready for it. It bounced off of him, and the Packers pounced on it. And that set up the second of the Packers' 2 field goals. So, offensive miscues, not really thrilled with. But defensively, both teams are looking really good. And the defense was a really big question mark for me coming into this game, especially linebacker. And, we've had Zach Baun, one of the starting linebackers, has 5 combined tackles as well as 1 sack. So, yeah. We are back from the commercial, so we got 15-minute start of the second quarter. Hurts is in the gun. We got it back to his right. Hurts takes a snap, fakes a handoff to Barkley. Hurts going to roll out to his right. Pressure coming. Hurts is just going to sail it. And that is going to be incomplete. And that is going to bring up a 3rd and 1 situation for the Eagles. We'll see what they decide to do here. I would be a very big fan of us just handing the ball to Saquon Barkley and running. He was kind of looking for Saquon Barkley, but it really was not catchable. So, all right, they're going to try it. Looks like the brotherly shove here, and they definitely get it. That is a very definite yes. I don't know why that's a bad spot. That is a horrifically bad spot. It's 4th and inches now. They're going to try this again. Hurts lines up for the brotherly shove. And that's going to be the Eagles are set. There is a flag now, so yeah, they got Slayton there, number 93, TJ Slayton, defensive lineman. They got him for encroachment, so that is going to give the Eagles 5 free yards and a first down. Gets them up to the 28-yard line. So the Packers have 6 penalties for 45 yards already in this game. So Hurts lines up in the gun, Barkley behind him. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley going to take off, picks up the first down and a couple more, gets up to about the 18-ish yard line, 17-yard line is where they're going to mark him down. But that's an 11-yard pickup brought down by Xavier McKinney, and that is going to be an Eagles first down. So, guess the Eagles needed the first couple drives to shake off some of the rust. Again, the Eagles starters didn't play at all during the preseason, which I think is problematic. All right, so Hurts is lining up under center. We got Barkley behind him. Devontae Smith wide out to the near side. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley, who's going to get dropped behind the line of scrimmage, is going to lose a yard. So, it's going to bring up 2nd and 11 from the 18-yard line of the Packers. We are at 13 minutes and 13 seconds, 12, 11, 10 left in this first half. Definitely drop a comment. Would love to hear your thoughts about this game. Let us know you're watching. 13-minute mark left in the first half here. So we got Hurts lining up now in the gun. Now he's gonna gently move. No, he's gonna go back to the gun. We got Barkley to his right. We got a man in motion. Hurts takes a snap. Back, looking, throwing. Got Saquon Barkley. Is that a touchdown? That is an Eagles touchdown. That is the first Eagles touchdown of the regular season, everybody. And the Eagles tie it up on one throw here. Hurts to Barkley. And all scoring plays are reviewed, but that is very definitely, that looks to be a touchdown there. 1, 2, with possession. He hits the ground, survives the ground. That's a touchdown, so no question about it. And now we got Jake Elliott on for the field goal, or for the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. And with 12 minutes and 38 seconds left to play in the first half, the Eagles take the lead. It is the Philadelphia Eagles 7, the Green Bay Packers 6. All right, so that drive, 11 plays, 70 yards, took 5 minutes and 23 seconds. Few things I like about that. Now that we've seen a full-fledged Eagles drive, especially one that ended in a scoring drive, few things that I like about it. One, good solid mixture of Jalen Hurts lining up under center versus in the gun. We didn't see a lot of that. We saw a lot of Jalen Hurts in the gun over the course of the last couple seasons. And I think now that we have Jalen Hurts lining up under center, because if Jalen Hurts lined up under center, typically it was going to be a run play, typically the brotherly shove. Speaking of which, we did see the brotherly shove on this drive. I think the Eagles would have gotten it if not for a really bad spot by the officials. That was a really bad spot that the officials gave for that brotherly shove attempt. So I was not thrilled about that. But it didn't matter because the very next play, the Eagles were able to draw the Packers off sides. And the drive kept going. So, really good, or really like the mixture of Jalen Hurts lining up under center versus lining up in the gun. There was definitely a solid mixture of that. Also a fan of Jalen Hurts. Also a fan of the use of motion. The fact that there is motion happening really was lacking last year. We're seeing that a lot now. That's my big takeaway offensively there. And the Eagles were moving the ball. Once the Eagles got into that groove, they were moving the ball really well. And I think that's a good harbinger of things to come. So if we needed the first couple of drives to shake the rust off, I'm okay with that. But yeah, it was a little we needed those first couple drives, it looks like. So would have liked to see a little bit more running the football. So far, Saquon Barkley does have 5 carries for 13 yards. A lot of that was due to some of the lost yards towards the beginning. We got Braden Mann on to kick this away. And that's going to sail through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Packers will pick up at their own 30. Yeah, they're showing the replay right now of the Saquon Barkley touchdown, and yeah, I mean that was a really good touchdown. All right, so now we've got Love under center, takes the snap, back looking, pressure coming. Love's going to throw, and it is going to be tipped and incomplete off the hands of Dontavian Wicks, one of the wide receivers. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 situation from the 30. What I'd love to see would be a nice little 3-and-out kind of situation. Wicks kind of slipped here, and it wasn't tipped. It was off his hands. All right, so we got 12:33 left in the half. Love is in the gun. We got it back to his right. Man goes in motion to the near side. Love takes the snap, hands it off, and is going to power through. Gets the first down, gets to about and slides at about the 44. So that would be Wilson, Emmanuel Wilson, one of the backup running backs there. Remember, the Packers only have 2 running backs in this game because Marshawn Lloyd is out with an injury. I believe it's an ankle injury, so it's definitely an important one. Not sure that was an intentional slide. I think that was the field. All right, so we got Love in the gun, back behind him. Love takes a snap, hands it off to Wilson. Wilson going to bounce to the outside. is able to pick up, let's call that about 5. Yeah, that's going to bring up 2nd and 5, gets up to the 49-yard line, and that's going to bring up, 2nd down. Yeah, I'm not thrilled with this field condition, guys. We've seen a lot of slipping. We saw Saquon Barkley slip on the first run, and then now we've seen Emmanuel Wilson here. So this field condition is not great. All right, so we got Love in the gun. We got Wilson to his left. Man in motion to the far side. Love takes the snap, hands it off to Wilson. Wilson is going to pick up the first down, gets into Eagles territory, gets down to around the 33-yard line before he's finally brought down by Zach Bond. And that is going to bring up a 1st and 10 for the Packers from the Eagles' 33-yard line. There's not been a ton of action on the side of the field that the Packers are moving towards because, again, the Packers started their first drive on their own 35, and then the Eagles were driving, and then we switched sides for the start of the second quarter. All right, so we got Love lining up in the gun. We got Wilson behind him. Got a man going in motion, lining up. And now Love's going to call timeout. So that is the final Packers timeout of this half. Luke Musgrave came in to line up right beside Love, and that, I guess, was what triggered the timeout. So we got a stoppage with 10:24 left in the half here. So we got just shy of 10.5 minutes left in the half, and the Packers are out of timeouts for the half. Eagles still have all 3. We got 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line of the Eagles. All right, so now we have Love lining up in the gun, back to his right. Sends a man in motion to the near side. Love takes a snap, hands it off, and that is going to get to the first down marker, and a bunch more gets inside the 10, the 5, touchdown Packers. And that is Jaden Reed on the run. So a wide receiver run there, and the Packers get their first touchdown of the season. Yeah, benefited from a bunch of good blocks there. But yeah, with a couple of missed tackles. All right, Packers on to kick it. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. We do have a flag down, so we're going to check on this flag here. They're going to get Jalen Carter for offsides. So, yeah, that's offside. So we'll see if the Packers try to go for 2 here on this. Yeah, they are going to go for 2. So Eagles defense needs to step it up here. Be nice to have a little sack. Last season, the Packers were 2 for 5 on 2-point conversions. This one is going to be from the 1-yard line. Jordan Love lines up under center, I formation behind him. Love takes a snap, hands it off to Josh Jacobs, who is not going to get there. The Eagles shut down Josh Jacobs. He is going to be short of that marker, and that is going to, and the Packers lead will stay at 5. So Jaden Reed gets a touchdown for real this time, because the first time that Jordan Love found him in the end zone, there were too many men on the field for both teams. And then the Packers were unable to convert. We have a stoppage, 10:16 left in the first half here. Packers ahead of the Eagles again, 12-7. 5-play, 70-yard drive took 2 minutes and 22 seconds of clock time. Emmanuel Wilson coming in there to really do a lot of what Josh Jacobs could not do in that situation. So Josh Jacobs has really been eating a lot of the Eagles' defensive line, and Emmanuel Wilson came in and he's got 3 carries for 37 yards. And then that last touchdown was a rushing touchdown. It was a Jaden Reed, one carry for 33 yards. So that was a 33-yard touchdown run, which I'm not thrilled about for the Eagles. Yeah, but again, I do think that I think the Packers. I think the Packers benefited from some really good blocks there. I think Jaden Reed got some really good blocks. Just a couple of tackles that weren't able to be made. That probably could have been made if they had read it a little bit better. But again, Eagles came through in the end there with stopping the 2-point conversion. So the Eagles have the opportunity to get the football back and get a little bit of a lead, get the lead back. So we'll see what they decide to do when we come back from the break. But definitely drop a comment in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this game. Have the conversation throughout this here. Again, this game is streaming nationwide on Peacock. If you are in the Philadelphia area, you can catch the game on NBC 10. If you're in the Green Bay area, you can catch the game on NBC 26. So, somebody's getting checked out on the sideline. Oh, that's the field judge. Oh, the field judge is getting checked out on the sideline. Ryan Dixon looks like he got a little getting his ankle checked out. Packers are going to kick this away. And that's going to go out of the back of the end zone. So that's going to be give the Eagles the opportunity to start things off from their own 30-yard line, and we'll see if they decide to do the same thing again. This is the first Eagles team since 1970 with the same head coach but different offensive and defensive coordinators for 3 straight seasons. It's actually the first NFL team in general. All right, so Jalen Hurts lines up in the gun. We got Barkley to his right. Hurts takes a snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley going to power forward and is going to pick up about 2 before he gets stopped. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 situation. I guess up to the 32-yard line. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 8. We are inside of 10 minutes left to play in the half. 9:55, 9:54, 53, 52, 51, 9:50, 9:49, 9:48. In case you want to sync your broadcast. So Hurts in the gun, back to his right. This is Kenny Gainwell now that's in. Man goes in motion to the near side. Hurts takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Gainwell. Hurts back looking, pressure coming. Hurts is going to roll out to his right. Hurts is just going to throw it away. Good heads up there, avoiding the sack. It's going to bring up 3rd and 8 for the Eagles. So we got a 3rd and long situation. Yeah, that was a little rough there. Okay. So 3rd and 8. Hurts in the gun. Gainwell to his left. A.J. Brown lines up wide out to the near side. Clock stopped at 9:26. Hurts. Play clock winding down. Takes the snap. Back. Pressure coming. Hurts throws immediately. That's going to be caught by A.J. Brown. Turns upfield to the 45, 50. Out of bounds at the 46-yard line of the Packers. So A.J. Brown is able to haul that in there when it was very quickly dumped off to him. And that was a very, very quick play there because Jalen Hurts was hit immediately after he threw that football. So that is going to bring up a 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Really from about the 48-yard line is where I guess he was pushed out of bounds. So Hurts in the gun, back to his left. That's Kenny Gainwell. Play clock is winding down. Hurts is making a bunch of calls. Hurts gets the football off and then fakes the handoff, and he's just going to slide himself right at about the line of scrimmage. So it's going to be a no-gain kind of situation. Actually, they will credit him for a yard, so that's going to bring up 2nd and 9 for the Eagles. We got 8.5 left in the half. Yeah, so they'll credit him up to the 47-yard line. So 2nd and 9. All right. Hurts lining up in the gun. Got it back to his left. Man going in motion to the near side. Hurts takes a snap. Back. Looking. Pressure coming. Hurts is going to throw. Wide open Devontae Smith. Gets down to the 25. Down to the 21-yard line. Goes Devontae Smith. And that is a big Eagles 1st down. They will only credit him to the 22, but it doesn't matter. It's still a huge 1st down there. Devontae Smith was wide open. There were 3 Packers probably within about 5-10 yards of each other. So we got 1st and 10 now. Hurts is in the gun. Back to his left. I think that's Barkley now. Man going in motion to the far side. Hurts takes a snap. Back. Pressure coming. Hurts is going to throw. That's caught by Barkley and is going to go out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. But that is a solid 5-yard pickup. Does give the Eagles a 2nd down and short. 2nd and short here. So that is a... and we are approaching the 7-minute mark left in this 1st half. All right, inside of 7 minutes. Hurts going to line up in the gun, flanked by backs. 5 seconds on the clock. Hurts takes a snap. He's going to keep it himself. He's going to run. He's going to get down to the 15. Gets down to about the, let's call that the 13-yard line. So he's going to be about a yard shy. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 1 situation from the 13. And we've already seen a brotherly shove once. It didn't go through. Again, I'm going to attribute that to a bad spot. That was a horrifically bad spot by the officials. 6:15 left in the 1st half here. We're going to see a brotherly shove lineup again. All right. And he is going to get it that time. You can't make that argument. He definitely, the officials are coming in right on the yellow line this time. That is definitely a 1st down. We are inside of 6 minutes left in the 1st half here, and the Eagles are driving. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 11. So the Eagles really pick up like 2 yards on that, which is huge. All right, 1st and 10 from the 11. Hurts is in the gun. We got Barkley to his left. Bunch formation to the far side. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley going to take it himself. 11 yards for the touchdown, and the Eagles are back on top. The Eagles are back on top. And we've got 5:34 left in the 1st half here. Yeah, 11-yard run there by Saquon Barkley, and boy, are we glad to have him. Jake Elliott on to attempt the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. With 5 minutes and 34 seconds left to play in the first half, the Philadelphia Eagles take the lead again. They are up by 2. It's the Eagles 14, the Packers 12. But yeah, again, definitely let me know what your thoughts are about this game, what you're liking about it, what you anything that you'd like to see improve. Good solid mixture of runs and passes so far. Saquon Barkley has 7 carries for 26 yards. Jalen Hurts, 6 carries for 9 yards. That last drive was a 9-play, 70-yard drive. It took 4 minutes and 42 seconds. So, yeah, so that we can say that. And the Eagles have pulled it even in the time of possession battle, for the moment at least. The Packers were dominating pretty early in this game, and even up until this most recent drive, the Packers held the ball for 12 minutes and 7 seconds. Eagles are up at 12-19, so the Eagles have pulled it even. But yeah, my hope is that the Eagles have moved on from those first 2 drives where there were all kinds of miscues, all kinds of mistakes. Yeah, that's my hope here. Eagles are on to kick this away. There's a little bit of a stoppage right now. All right, so we got 5:34 left in the half. Jake Elliott is on to kick this football away. I'm sorry, Braden Mann is doing these kickoffs. I apologize. And Mann is going to drill it, and it's going to go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Packers will start things off at their own 30-yard line, and we'll see what the Eagles decide to do here. All right, we'll see what the Packers decide to do and how they decide to answer. We'll see what the Eagles have schematically set for it. Right now, Peacock is showing the Eagles squatting. So the squats from minicamp. Some of those videos that circulated on social media. Saquon Barkley able to squat a whole bunch there. All right. So we got Jordan Love in the gun. We got Josh Jacobs to his left. We got a man going in motion to the far side. Love going to take the snap. He's going to fake the handoff, and it's almost picked off. Almost picked off by Nakobe Dean. And that would have been, if he catches that, he's still going, because Nakobe Dean was wide open with nobody in front of him. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of slipping going on here, too. Again, this field is not great. The Eagles are contending with. Eagles and Packers both doing a lot of slipping. Some of the defenders were slipping in the backfield. The Eagles defenders were slipping in the offensive backfield there. So we got 5:29 left in the half. Love in the gun. Back behind him. Love takes a snap. Back looking, throwing, and that's going to be tipped and incomplete. He was looking for number 88. That would be Luke Musgrave, and that is going to bring up a 3rd and 10 situation. Yeah, Quinyon Mitchell was in there. And we'll get credit for the coverage. There were a few others in the round. So we got Love in the gun. We got Jacobs to his right. It's going to be 3rd and 10. So 3rd and long situation. We got 5:22 left in the half. Man goes in motion to the far side. Love takes a snap. Back. Looking. Love's going to roll and throw. And wide open is Jaden Reed. And that's going to be a touchdown. That is going to be a touchdown. Wide open. Bryce Huff totally misses the tackle. And the Packers are going to go back on top here. So we got 5:11 left in this first half here. But yeah. Yeah, Jaden Reed running a cross route there. Yeah. Bryce Huff just absolutely whiffs on that tackle. That can't happen. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. We do have a flag down, so we're going to check on that flag. It's going to be a false start, so that's going to march the Packers back 5 yards. They will get Rasheed Walker on that, the tackle, for the false start. So it's going to now be a little bit longer of a field goal. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is narrowly through the right upright and good. So with 5:11 left in the first half, the Packers take the lead again. It is the Green Bay Packers 19, the Philadelphia Eagles 14. The only positive that came out of that was that the drive took 23 seconds, and the Eagles have 5:11 left in the first half, so they can churn a bunch of clock here. Eagles drives have been taking a lot longer on average. They've been taking closer to 4 or 5 minutes if you discount those first 2 drives. And the Packers don't have timeouts, so the only stoppage the Packers have left in the game, or in the first half here, is the 2-minute warning. They'll get a new set of timeouts in the start of the third quarter, as per usual. Eagles could still have all 3 timeouts, so they can stop the clock as many times as they need to. But yeah, I was not thrilled with the Bryce Huff whiffed tackle there. Not really thrilled on that. He should have been able to wrap him up there. Again, I think some of that is the field. I think the field is very slippery. It looks like the Eagles have been playing on the worst field since Super Bowl 57. And that was a bad field. So, but that doesn't excuse the fact, like, the Eagles have been able to practice on this field. So, like, seriously. None of that is an excuse. The Eagles need to shape up on that. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Again, I'd love to hear from you. Love to hear what you're thinking. In the event anyone cares, it's we are through 7 innings in the Phillies game, and the Phillies are up 14-1. So that's the only other Philadelphia-related update that I have for you, because that's the only other game going on. Packers are on to kick this away, and that's going to be fielded in the end zone. It's going to get brought out to the 20, to about the 23-yard line. I don't like the decision to return that. I would have liked to see that go. Just take the knee and take the touchback there. I'm sorry, that was not Bryce Huff on the coverage. I apologize. I've been throwing Bryce Huff under the gun here. Who was that? That was Gardner Johnson. C.J. Gardner Johnson. He was wearing number 8. That's my bad. C.J. Gardner Johnson was doing all the kinds of slipping around there. I've been throwing Bryce Huff under the bus for the last few minutes, and I'm sorry about that. All right, we got Hurts in the gun, back to his right. A.J. Brown wide out to the near side. Hurts takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Barkley. Hurts is going to throw, and it's incomplete. I don't know what's going on there. Packers players were all over A.J. Brown there, and A.J. Brown was the intended target of that. I'm surprised they didn't call anything on that. We got 5:01 left in this first half here. Eagles have the ball. It is 2nd and 10. Somebody was on the coverage there. It was a little rough. 23. Jair Alexander is there on the, or was there on the coverage. But, yeah, it did not. That was not great. All right, so we got Hurts now in the gun. We got a back to his left. Hurts takes a snap, back, looking, pressure coming. Hurts is going to throw. That is now caught by A.J. Brown for the first down. Gets up to about the 36-yard line before he's brought down. That is going to bring up an Eagles first down, though. So that's going to be 1st and 10 from the Eagles 36. Xavier McKinney was there, as was Jair Alexander. Jair Alexander is the one that actually broke Jair's tackle. So we got Hurts now in the gun. Back to his left. Play clock is at 15. We're at 4.5 left in the second quarter. Hurts. Play clock winding down. Calls for the football. Hurts takes the snap. Back. Looking. He's going to roll out to his right. Pressure's coming. Hurts is going to throw. Incomplete. He was looking for Jahan Dotson, so the Eagles' most recent pickup, wide receiver 3. That is going to be an incomplete pass, though. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. Dotson was way out of bounds at the time that ball came close to him, so wouldn't have been able to catch that even if he tried. All right, so it's 2nd and 10. 4:11 left in the first half. Hurts is in the gun. Back behind him. Devontae Smith goes in motion to the near side. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley going to pick up, let's call that about 3. They will credit him for 3. So it's going to be 3rd and 7 from the Eagles' 39-yard line. We are inside of 4 minutes left to play in this first half. So we got Hurts now in the gun. We got a back to his right. Play clock is inside of 15 seconds. 10 seconds on the play clock. Hurts is in the gun. Hurts calls for the football. Hurts back, looking, throwing, caught by Dallas Goedert. Gets inside Packers territory, down to the 45, down to the 40-yard line where he's finally pushed out of bounds. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Eagles from the 40-yard line of the Packers. A little cross route by Dallas Goedert. So again, that's the kind of stuff that I'm seeing a lot more of right now. We got cross routes, which we didn't see a lot of towards the tail end of last year. Love seeing that from Kellen Moore. All right, so we got Hurts now in the gun. We got a back to his left. 3 receivers to the far side. Hurts takes a snap. Hands it off to Barkley. Barkley going to run pretty much right into the line of scrimmage, but does pick up 2. Wrapped up pretty immediately there. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 8. And Barkley's going to head to the sideline. We'll see Kenny Gainwell. So we got 2.5 minutes pretty much left in this first half here. Eagles have had the ball since the 5:11 mark. Thereabouts. This will probably be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Hurts lines up in the gun. Kenny Gainwell to his left. A.J. Brown wide out to the near side. Hurts takes the snap. Back looking. Pressure coming. Hurts is going to roll out to his right. Hurts going to sail it. Looking for Wilson, and it's incomplete. looking for Johnny Wilson, and that is going to bring up a 3rd and 8 situation. So we got a 3rd and long situation, and this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Pretty well covered there by Eric Stokes. A little bit of helmet contact there by Johnny Wilson's hands. Some good no call, though. All right, so we got Hurts in the gun with an empty backfield. A.J. Brown, wide out to the near side. Devontae Smith in the slot to the near side. Hurts is going to take it, keep it himself, and is going to pick up a bunch there. But not enough for the first down, and is really, it's only going to get up to about the 33. So now we are at the 2-minute warning. Eagles are in Packers territory, but it's a critical 4th down situation, and we'll see where things go here. The Eagles are behind 14-19 at the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. So this drive so far has already taken 3 minutes and 12 seconds, and we're at a critical juncture here. The Eagles are in a 4th and short situation. It's not close enough for the brotherly shove, so we probably will not see that. We could see Jake Elliott coming on for a field goal. We could also see the Eagles decide to go for it on 4th down here. I don't know what the decision's going to be. My gut tells me that we're going to try to go for it on 4th down. That's just what my guts tell me, because we got Saquon Barkley. We could easily hand it off to him. If we do go for it, I would like to see a little bit of a Saquon Barkley run. But there was a designed Jalen Hurts run there on that. That was what picked up. That was a 5-yard pickup, actually. So, again, feel free to drop a comment in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are about this game, how the Eagles are doing, how the Packers are doing, what your thoughts are. Obviously, this is an Eagles channel, so there's going to be a little bit of a bias towards how the Eagles are doing, but definitely feel free to sound off in the chat. Again, I would love to hear from you over the course of this game. And again, the other Philadelphia-related sporting news that's going on, we have the Phillies in their hunt for Red October. It is 14-1 over there in Miami in favor of the Phillies, and we are midway through the 8th inning. So that's pretty well locked up, in my opinion. We are back from the 2-minute warning. Just a reminder, no coaches' challenges are allowed, so everything comes from the booth inside 2 minutes in each half. So it's 4th and 3, and it does look like the Eagles' offense is staying out on the field. Now, they could just try to draw the Packers off sides, which they were able to successfully do earlier, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen here. We got Hurts lining up in the gun. We got Kenny Gainwell to his left. Goddard goes in motion. And now the Eagles are going to call timeout. So that is the first timeout of the half for the Eagles. They have 2 remaining. And we will probably see at this point, we'll see Jake Elliott coming out onto the field. Potentially. I don't know. They look like they're, the coaches are going out there to talk things over. They could leave the offense out. They might be leaving the offense out. They are right at about the touchback line. That would be the... Yeah, Eagles offense is staying out on the field. Remember, the Packers cannot stop the clock. They are out of timeouts for this half. So the Eagles now set. Jalen Hurts is going to line up in the gun. We got Kenny Gainwell to his right. We got a bunch formation to the near side. One receiver out to the far side. Now A.J. Brown's going out to the slot to the far side. Hurts is going to take the snap. He's back. He's looking. He's throwing. Is that caught? That is caught by Devontae Smith, and that is going to give the Eagles a first down. Keeps the game moving in the Eagles' direction here. Yep, that is very definitely a catch here. All right, so it's 1st and 10. Ball is on the 26-yard line of the Packers. Got about a minute and a half left in this first half here. Hurts is in the gun. Back, Kenny Gainwell to his left. Hurts takes the snap. Hands it off to Gainwell. Gainwell's really not going to get anywhere. Maybe picks up a yard or two. They will credit him to the 24, so that's going to be a 2-yard pickup. It's going to bring up 2nd and 8. T.J. Slayton and Kenny Clark were there on the stop. 60 seconds left in the half. Hurts is in the gun, back to his left. Hurts takes a snap. He's back. Looking. Throwing, caught by Gainwell. Behind the line of scrimmage, gets to the 20. Gets down to the 15 for a first down. Gets down to the 14, and that is going to be where forward progress is stopped. And that's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Eagles from the 14-yard line. We do have a stoppage at 43 seconds left in the first half here. The Eagles will take their 2nd timeout of the half. So they have 1 remaining. Arena Corinthians is packed for this game. I'm really happy for the Brazilian football fans. All right, so we got 43 seconds left in the first half here. Eagles are knocking on the doorstep. They're 14 yards away from a touchdown, but it is 1st and 10, so they only need to get down to the 4 to reset everything here. But we got 43 seconds left. Remember, the Packers cannot stop the clock. They're out of timeouts for the half. We got Hurts in the gun, back to his left. Man going in motion to the far side. Hurts takes the snap. Back, looking. Is going to run to his right and is going to get sacked. That is the first sack of the game for the Packers. And that clock is running. So it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 16. They get knocked all the way back to the 20-yard line. And now we have a stoppage here. The Eagles will take their final timeout with 31 seconds left. So both teams now out of timeouts. .31 seconds left in the first half. Drop a comment. Feel free to like and subscribe. Really helps the channel out. Second and 16 coming up for the Eagles. Eagles have time for a shot at the end zone and then maybe a field goal. They will get the ball to start the second half, so that'll be promising. We'll see what they decide to do with that. This field looks really torn up. All right, so we got Hurts now in the gun. Back to his right, that's Kenny Gainwell. We got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith in the slot to the near side. And now we've got a flag down. It's going to be a false start against Dallas Goedert. So that is going to bring up a 2nd and 21 now. That's going to march the Eagles all the way back to the 25. Since the clock was already stopped, there is no 10-second runoff that's enforced. So it's 2nd and 21. Eagles have to get to the 4 for a first down. Hurts is in the gun. We got it back to his right. Goddard's going to go in motion. Hurts takes the snap. He's back. He's looking. He's got time. Running out of time. Throws to Goddard right at the line of scrimmage. Goddard's going to get up to about the 20-yard line, and that's where he's going to get stopped. and the clock is running down, so the Eagles might just hurry up. We'll see if they decide to spike it here for a field goal attempt, or if they just decide to run a quick play here. Hurts lines up under center, back behind him. Hurts is going to clock it. 4 seconds left. It's going to send Jake Elliott out for a field goal. Again, the Eagles will get the ball to start the second half, so Jake Elliott is kicking a 38-yard field goal. His longest is 61. He's done that twice. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is right down Broadway and good. And that is going to put the Eagles within 2. Eagles are still behind. It is, and that's actually going to send us to halftime. So the Philadelphia Eagles are behind by 2. It is the Green Bay Packers 19, the Philadelphia Eagles 17. So yeah, so on the whole, again, liked that first half. Especially like as we were getting towards the end of the first quarter, start of the second. Fortunately, a bunch of defensive miscues towards the end there. But I mean, the Eagles and the Packers both have been doing some really good stuff here. So, let's start by taking a look at some of these team stats here, because that's going to be helpful. So, Eagles started off not looking great, but they were able to actually best the Packers in terms of earned first downs. The Eagles have 13 first downs over the course of the first half compared to the Packers' 7. Most of those coming through the air, as makes sense, but the Eagles were able to get a bunch on the ground as well. Eagles are a little bit better than the Packers on third down. They're 4 for 9 compared to the Packers' 2 for 6. And then the Eagles are 2 for 3 in the red zone, which, again, that shows, because the Packers had a number of attempts in the red zone, especially, or had a number of attempts in the red zone on those first couple of drives where they were able to make some good defensive plays to be able to, and capitalize on a couple of Eagles' mistakes to be able to get the ball to start in the red zone. But the Packers were not able to capitalize on any of those attempts, which is huge. About even in terms of total offensive yards, rushing and passing net yards. Time of possession, the Eagles pulled away in the time of possession battle towards the end there. Eagles had the ball for 17 minutes and 30 seconds compared to the Packers' 12 minutes and 30 seconds. Very beginning of the game, that was not the case. The Packers were very much on top of the time of possession battle towards the beginning of the game. Mostly, again, due to the Eagles' miscues early on, shaking the rust off, whatever you want to call that. Yeah. So that was that. Again, while we're here, please feel free to drop a comment in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear about what your thoughts are about this game. I would love to hear what you're thinking. And definitely feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't been here before. I'm trying to get you as much Eagles content as we possibly can here for you. So if you're new here, drop a like and a subscribe, because it really helps the channel out. So again, this is a big number here. Because in the first half of this game, or especially in the first quarter, the Packers were really heavily penalized. The Packers were penalized 6 times for 46 yards. Now, none of those, I think, came in the second half. In the second quarter. I'm going to double check that real quick. Okay, yeah, the Packers were penalized 2 times for 11 yards in the second quarter, whereas the Eagles got dinged twice for 6. So, yeah, but right now the Eagles are looking, at least in terms of penalties, like the more disciplined team. We had the flare up by Jalen Carter early on. That was not great, but the Eagles but he looks like he was able to shake it off from that. That was the Eagles' only penalty of the. I'm sorry, that was the only penalty the Eagles had for a while in the first quarter. Yeah, so that's that. Again, defenses looked really, really good for much of this first half here. I'm going to start with the Eagles defense here. Zach Bond, 7 tackles already in the first half. 1 sack, which, again, huge. And that was, 1 sack, 5 yards. Eagles were using a little bit of hard count as well during this. Jason Kelsey pointed that out on Twitter, or on X, formerly Twitter. He pointed that out, which, again, that's big. We'll come back to that in a minute. But yeah, Zach Bond, Avonte Maddox getting in the mix there. 3 combined tackles. Again, they're Eagles. The Eagles' defense is looking a lot better. Definitely looking a lot better than it did towards the tail end of last season. On the Packers side, again, some really solid defensive performance as well. Quay Walker, 7 combined tackles. TJ Slayton, 4 combined tackles. Jair Alexander got in the mix towards the end there. Xavier McKinney has the game's only interception so far. So that's huge. And then Wyatt came in. Devontae Wyatt came in there with the only fumble recovery so far. So the turnovers have been at the expense of the Eagles so far this game, which we'll cycle back on that. But yeah, the both defenses have been looking pretty good. It's just towards the tail end of the first half here, there was definitely some concern about players slipping and sliding and stuff, and that's not great in any situation, let alone on a national stage here like this game is. Eagles have been able to hold Jordan Love to just a 50% completion rating for 130 yards, 1 passing touchdown, and then in the run game, Eagles' biggest threat in the run game was Emmanuel Wilson. Jaden Reed had the 1 touchdown run. It was a 33-yard touchdown run, which, again, there was... C.J. Gardner-Johnson was not able to get on top of that, and that's definitely frustrating. And then Josh Jacobs, the threat from Josh Jacobs has pretty much been removed because Josh Jacobs has really spent most of his time running into the line of scrimmage, and the Eagles' front 4 has been able to wrap him up for the most part, including on a critical 2-point conversion that did not go so well for the Packers. The Packers were not able to convert on the 2-point conversion earlier on in the game. Just taking a look again, Eagles-wise, lots to write home about. Lots of really good stuff, Eagles-wise. And again, feel free to chime in the chat. Love to hear from you. Lots to write home about Eagles-wise. I'm a big fan of a lot of what I'm seeing here. Lots of motion. Lots of different looks that the Eagles' offense is giving. Lots of different things that are going on. I pointed out Jason Kelsey indicated the Eagles are using a bunch of hard count, which they did not use a ton of over the course of the last season. So the fact that the Eagles are implementing that is a real testament to Kellen Moore and the offensive ideas that he is bringing. So I'm a big fan of all of these offensive changes. This Eagles team's looking good. This Eagles team is looking good. I do want to see how they make adjustments as the game is going forward, because now we've seen a bunch from the Packers. Now we've seen a bunch of what they're showing us. So let's see what Vic Fangio decides to dial up defensively. Let's see what Kellen Moore decides to make some changes to offensively. And then we'll see there. But Jalen Hurts, 14 for 22. So that's a pretty solid completion rating. 154 yards through the air. He's a little bit better. He's a little bit worse than 2/3. Jalen Hurts through the air. Again, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and that was really just a great... There was some offensive miscuing there, but as I'm thinking back on that, that was really just a great read by Xavier McKinney, who was able to undercut the route, be able to pick it off. Pretty good. A pretty good defensive read there. So that was the 1 interception. Jalen Hurts did have the 1 fumble. It was a miscue Cam Jurgens, the new center, snapped the ball. Jalen Hurts wasn't ready for it. The two of them had a discussion on the sidelines. I call it a discussion. It did not look anything like it was calm, but I guess they were able to work it out. And we haven't seen that. We haven't seen any turnovers since then. Eagles had a couple of opportunities for turnovers, notably on that Packers touchdown drive, the 33-yard touchdown run by Jaden Reed. Notably had a opportunity there. Nakobe Dean missed a shot at an interception. Saquon Barkley, 9 carries for 31 yards. So he's averaging about 3.4 yards per carry. So not some of that might be some of the looks that the Packers defense is giving them. Some of that might just be a little bit of adaptations there. Looks like there's a halftime show going on. Brazilian singer Anitta is singing at the halftime show. We got about 4.5 left before halftime wraps up. And then Kenny Gainwell had a carry for 2 yards. We haven't really seen a ton of Kenny Gainwell. More of the runs have come from Jalen Hurts. Hurts has had 7 carries for 14 yards, so average of 2 yards per carry there. Saquon Barkley has the only rushing touchdown of the game so far for the Eagles. It was an 11-yard touchdown run. It was the Eagles' second touchdown of the game. The first touchdown of the game for the Eagles came on a pass to Saquon Barkley. So Saquon Barkley is 2 for 2 in the air for 23 yards, 1 touchdown, including an 18-yard pass. And then in the receiving game, favorite targets so far are Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith is 4 for 5 in terms of catches off of targets, 49 yards. His longest is a 25-yard reception. A.J. Brown is 3 for 5. So Packers are doing a little bit better of a job kind of isolating out the threat from A.J. Brown. But you have other guys. You have Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, Kenny Gainwell has a catch, 10-yard catch, and then we also saw a target over to Johnny Wilson that was not able to get brought in. This is the first time that 2 players have each had a rushing and a receiving touchdown in the same quarter. So Jaden Reed has both touchdowns for the Packers. And the Eagles are utilizing motion on 68% of plays, which is 27 out of 40, or so 27 of 40. They were last in the NFL last year. They were using motion about 35% of the time. So we're coming back from the halftime break for the start of the third quarter. Again, the Eagles will get the ball to start this half. But yeah, just let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. This is kickoff weekend. This is game number 2 of kickoff weekend. And you can see, like, as you watch this, you can see, like, paint smearing. You can see there's a lot of, the paint from the NFL logo in midfield is smearing. This field is not in great shape. It just is not. All right, Packers are on to kick this away. Braden Narveson is the Packers kicker. And this is going to go and get fielded in the end zone and is going to be a touchback. So the Eagles will get the ball to start at the 30-yard line. And that is where we will resume this game. So Eagles have a chance to take the lead here. Yeah, so since the Eagles' first couple of drives, where they ended on an interception and a fumble, Eagles have had some really solid possessions here. So we got Hurts in the gun, Barkley behind him. Hurts takes a snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley's going to pick up about 3. And that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 7. Gets up to the 33-yard line. We are at 14:48, 14:47, 14:46, 45, 44, 43 left in the third quarter. So we got 2nd and 7. Hurts is in the gun. Barkley to his left. Jahan Dotson is wide out to the near side. Hurts takes the snap. Back, looking, throwing. And that is going to be caught. A.J. Brown down at the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, A.J. Brown. Touchdown, Eagles. That was 2 plays, 70 yards. It took 51 seconds. And the Eagles are back on top, 23-19. That was a nice route. That A.J. Brown crosses the field. All right, and Jake Elliott on to kick the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. With 14:09 left to play in the third quarter, the Eagles take the lead again. It is the Philadelphia Eagles 24, the Green Bay Packers 19. So the Eagles hold a 5-point lead. And that was just a beautiful pass. That was a beautiful pass. And you can see, so the Eagles are having a watch party. Everybody's gathering at Lincoln Financial Field. And that is just, everybody was excited there. So, nice quick little start there. Probably how the last drive should have ended. But now we got Braden Mann on to kick this away. And that is going to go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Packers will pick it up from their own 30-yard line. And that's where things are going to resume for the Packers. So we'll see how the Packers decide to answer and what the Eagles decide to dial up to try to stop them. That was a 67-yard reception by A.J. Brown for the touchdown. So, Love under center, back behind him. Love hands it off to Jacobs, and then Jacobs flick. It's a little flea flicker. Love has all day in the backfield, then is going to get pressure and is going to wind up throwing it away. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Was he outside of the tackle box? I don't know. If he was outside of the tackle box, then... Or if he wasn't outside of the tackle box, that should be grounding. Yeah, but everybody was well covered downfield. So Love had all day, but couldn't get anybody open. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Love in the gun, back to his left. Love takes a snap, hands it off to Jacobs. Jacobs is going to, and that's a fumble. That's a fumble. Never mind. No, they will... Yeah, it was recovered by Melton there at the 39. So, if the Packers do retain possession, it is going to be 3rd and 1. But Love's in the gun, empty backfield. Love takes a snap, back, pressure coming. Love's going to throw, incomplete. And there is a flag coming in. He was looking for Melton. And, yeah, we do have a flag here, so we're going to check on this flag. Clock stopped at 13:25 left in the 3rd quarter. Refs are still talking about it. So they're going to get, there were 2 fouls on the play, both by the defense. So they get Quinyon Mitchell for pass interference, which is going to get declined. Then there's going to be roughing the passer, which is going to be enforced. So that's going to be a 16-yard penalty. And they get Zach Bond for that. So, bad mistake there by both folks. I don't know what. Yeah, that was bad. So that's the Eagles' 5th penalty of the game here. So we got Love in the gun, back to his left. The ball's now on the Eagles' 45-yard line. So Love takes a snap, fakes the handoff, and is going to throw. That is going to get caught, and that is going to get forced out of bounds. It's Tucker Kraft, but not before he gets to the 15-yard line. They will actually credit him only to the 16. It's a 29-yard pickup, forced out by Reed Blankenship. So it's going to bring up a 1st and 10 for the Packers. As we're approaching the 13-minute mark here. If not inside it. Yeah, we are inside the 13-minute mark here. So we got Love in the gun, back to his left. Man going in motion to the far side. Love takes the snap, hands it off to Jacobs. Jacobs is going to get stopped after picking up just a yard. He's able to get up to the 15-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd and 9. We're at about 12.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Definitely feel free to drop a comment, and then feel free to like and subscribe as well. It really helps the channel out. Eagles are up 24-19, but the Packers are on the doorstep. Packers are 0 for 2 in the red zone. Love in the gun, back to his right. Love takes a snap. Back, looking, pressure coming. Love is hit as he throws, incomplete. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 situation for the Packers. Eagles looking to come up with a crucial 3rd down stop here, holding the Packers to a field goal. Clock is stopped at 12:02 left in the 3rd. Love in the gun with an empty backfield. Love sends a man in motion, calls for the football. He's back, pressure coming. Love throwing, incomplete. There is a flag down. He was looking for Dontavian Wicks. And the Eagles get dinged for pass interference. Avonte Maddox is called for that. So that is going to put the ball 1st and goal at the 2. So that was rough. That, like, you guys can't be doing that. That pass was incomplete. It would have been 4th down, but instead you give them 1st and goal at the 2. Stupid mistakes here, guys. Come on. We're inside of 12 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. It's 11:58. Love's in the gun. Jacobs to his left. Man goes in motion to the far side. Love takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Jacobs, throws, caught, touchdown. That is Christian Watson. So Packers are back on top. It's 25-24, pending the outcome of the extra point. So the Packers go marching right back and answer with their own touchdown. Eagles defense did themselves no favors with the mistakes, with the penalties that extended the drives. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. So with 11:55 left to play in the 3rd quarter, the Packers go on top by 2. It is 26-24. So, yeah. Hey, TY. Yeah, thanks for stopping by here. No, I don't think Barkley is not hurt. Barkley was just in. So, yeah, we have not seen him out of the game. But, yeah, I don't think that... As far as I'm aware, Barkley isn't hurt. Eagles have utilized both him and Kenny Gainwell a little bit, as they are prone to do. I will say we have not seen Will Shipley at all this game, so that's something to note there on that front. But yeah, that's good news. Yep. Yeah, big claps there. Big thanks TY for stopping by. Yeah. Yeah, but Saquon Barkley and Kenny Gainwell have been the two backs there. Barkley has 10 carries for 34 yards on the night. Kenny Gainwell only has 1 carry for 2 yards, but Barkley actually has 2 of the Eagles' 3 touchdowns so far as well. So Barkley has 1 touchdown coming on the ground, and then another touchdown coming through the air. So, yeah. I think more so it's a situation of like both run defenses are actually doing really well. Like the Eagles have held Josh Jacobs to 8 carries for 10 yards so far. And then the 4 other carries came came in the second quarter. Emmanuel Wilson had 3 carries for 37 yards, and then Jaden Reed had 1 carry for 33 yards. That was the Packers' first touchdown of the game. So, yeah, I think the relative absence of Saquon Barkley is more so due to the fact that the defenses have been doing quite well here. Because Barkley only has an average of about 3.4 yards per carry. So, and then Jalen Hurts has 7 carries for 14 yards. And Kenny Gainwell had, again, 1 carry for 2 yards. So that's an average there. Packers are on to kick this away. And it's going to go out of the end zone. It's going to be fielded in the end zone, but they're going to take a knee for a touchback. So Eagles get the ball to start at the 30. And we'll see how the Eagles decide to answer. Peacock has Noah Eagle and Todd Blackledge, I believe, calling this game. All right, so we got Hurts lining up under center. We got Barkley in the backfield. A.J. Brown in the slot to the near side. Hurts takes a snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right, and that's going to get tipped at the line and incomplete. He was looking for Dallas Goedert there, but somebody got a hand on it. That would be Rashawn Gary. So that's going to bring up a quick 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. Okay. 11:50 left in the third quarter. Hurts is in the gun. Barkley to his left. Britton Covey goes in motion to the far side. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley going to pick up, let's call that about 2. Maybe 3, depending on where they spot it. It's going to be 3rd and 8. Yeah, it's a pickup of 2 there. Edgerrin Cooper was there on the stop. But yeah, Ty, there's your Barkley sighting there for you. So, 3rd and 8, Hurts in the gun, back to his right. Hurts takes a snap back, pressure coming. Hurts is going to get sacked, and that's going to do it. It's a 3 and out for the Eagles in answer to that. I don't know why the Eagles are pointing towards the Packers. That makes no sense. That was a clean hit. Free guy coming right in. Missed block. Yeah, missed block by Lane Johnson there. That was not great. Yeah, Lane Johnson, what are you doing there? Rashawn Gary comes in completely free, and now you're pointing towards the Packers. So I don't know why that is. It's 4th and 14. We'll probably see Braden Mann on to punt this away, because... Yep, no problem, Ty. All right, Braden Mann on to punt it. And that's going to get the boot. And that's going to get fair caught at the 20-yard line. So the Packers will take over at the 20. And I believe that's the worst field position that they've had so far. Could be wrong about that, but I believe that's the worst field position that they've had. Yes, that is the worst field position so far. Fly, Eagles, fly. Yep. Or as they say in Brazil, voagias. All right, so we got Love in the gun, back behind him. Love takes the snap, back looking, throwing. That's going to be caught and pushed out of bounds is Romeo Doubs. And that is going to bring up a first down for the Packers. It got up to the 32-yard line. So it's a 12-yard pickup there for the Packers. Quinyon Mitchell was there to push to stop anything further, but Eagles need to tighten things up a little bit here. Inside of 10 minutes left in the third. Love in the gun, back to his left. Love sends a man in motion to the far side, sends another man in motion And we're going to have a flag here on this. That's going to go against the Packers. There's a little bit of a run, but that's going to come back because this is going to be an illegal shift. Two guys went in motion and did not reset. Yeah, that play didn't matter. It was Emmanuel Wilson for a 4-yard pickup, in case anybody cared. But yeah, they sent two guys in motion. And then, yeah, Tucker Kraft kind of went in motion second, and nobody reset during that. So that's going to cost the Packers 5 yards. It's going to be 1st and 15 from the Green Bay 27-yard line. It's the Packers' first penalty in a while. 9.5 left in the third. 1st and 15. Love under center, back behind him. Love takes the snap. He fakes a handoff. He's back. He's looking. He's got time, and he throws, and it's incomplete. It was at the feet of Jaden Reed, and that is going to bring up a 2nd and 15 situation. So we got a 2nd down and 2 sticks. We shall see what happens here and what the Eagles decide to dial up to counter it. All right, so we got Love in the gun with an empty backfield. Receivers spread out. Love takes the snap. He's back, pressure coming. He's going to look, and it's going to be through the hands of Romeo Doubs and incomplete. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2 sticks for the Packers. Again, please feel free to like and subscribe to Bird's Nest Media. It really helps the channel out. We're trying to bring you a bunch of Eagles content throughout the season. So 3rd and 15. Love is in the gun. Back in motion. Love takes the snap. Back looking, throwing, and incomplete. Hit immediately was Emmanuel Wilson. There is a flag down, so we're going to check on this flag. I have a gut feeling this is going against the Eagles here. No, it's going to be another illegal shift against the Packers. But that penalty is going to get declined this time, so it is going to bring up 4th and 15 for the Packers. So good news there. The Packers don't get the down back. And that will send the Packers punting unit on to punt this away. So Daniel Whelan will be on to punt it. .909 left in the third. And Whelan gives it the boot. Covey back to return it. Fields it at about the 17. We got a flag down already. Covey's going to get up to about the 29 before he runs into a Packer. We do have a flag down, so we will check on the flag. Clock stopped at 8:56 left in the third. One of the officials has a hat off, which usually is an indicator that a player was out of bounds. The officials are talking about it right at about the Eagles' 45-yard line, so we're going to see where things stand here. The flag was down kind of more on the reception, or more on the return area, so it was down closer to the return. Now we got Ron Torber coming over to run or to talk to Nick Sirianni about this. I don't know what they're. We have to announce this, guys. Like, seriously. Got all kinds of ref ball going on here. That's what the delay is. All right, so it looks like it's offsetting penalties. All right, so yeah, they get McDuffie for an illegal formation for the Packers, and then they get Tristan McCullum for an illegal blindside block. So the penalties off the blindside block occurred after. Yeah, there's the blindside block there. They're showing that on the replay. So yeah, they get Tristan McCullum for a blindside block. That occurred after the kick. So that is why the 5 and 15 enforcement rule doesn't apply here. So now we're redoing the punt. Okay, so that punt, Britton Covey's going to fair catch it at the 32-yard line. And now now the Eagles can resume. Yeah, that was a little rough there. The big question was, we got a stoppage. It's 8:47 left in the third quarter here. The big question was, for me as I was looking at it, was why, because when they were announcing it, they were announcing it as if it was offsetting penalties. But usually when there's a 5 and a 15, by rule, the 5-yard penalty is automatically declined. So usually this is the situation where like somebody does personal foul, unnecessary roughness, and it's to prevent something ticky-tacky like an illegal shift or an illegal formation from negating something that's much more severe. But in this situation, the 5-yard penalty happened before the punt, which caused a change of possession. Once the possession changed, then we have the 15-yarder, so that's kind of an exception to this whole rule. So that's why we threw everything out, and the play was replayed. So I guess sorting that part of it out was the big reason for the holdup. I remember from my own personal experience as a high school official, like when you throw the flag, you got to be able to explain right away why you threw the flag. Can't really spend a ton of time talking about it. I guess it was that weird question of the enforcement of that particular play, because normally if that happens, if you have an illegal shift or an illegal formation, and then you have and then on the other side you have something much more severe like a personal foul or a face mask or something like that, by rule the 5-yard penalty would be automatically declined and the 15-yard penalty would be enforced. But given the fact that it occurred on a punt, that threw the wrinkle in there. So NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell is down in Brazil for this game, so they just cut to him. If you're new here, please feel free to like and subscribe. If you like officiating-related content, I've done a little bit of that over the course of last season. Earlier this offseason, I had a chance to talk to NFL Executive Vice President of Football Operations, Troy Vincent, former Eagle. We talked a little bit about officiating, how to get officiating better. So definitely check that interview out. That's on my channel here. 8:47 left in the third. Ball is on the 32-yard line. Hurts is in the gun. We got a back to his right. Hurts takes a snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley going to pick up a bunch there, gets up to the 40-yard line, So it's going to be a 2nd and 2 situation for the Eagles. So 2nd and 2. Ball on the 40. We got 8.5 minutes left in the third. Hurts in the gun. Making some changes. Barkley to his left. Hurts takes the snap. Fakes the handoff to Barkley. Going to keep it himself and is going to get up to the line of scrimmage for no gain. Is brought down by Smith. That would be Preston Smith is going to get the credit for that. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 situation. Looked like it was a zone read kind of situation there, but yeah, yeah. All right, 7.5-ish left in the third quarter. Hurts in the gun, takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Barkley. Hurts is just going to throw it because he's getting sacked. No, that was forward. It's an incomplete pass. He just kind of threw it away. That's going to bring up 4th down for the Eagles. Yeah, I think he just narrowly got outside of the tackle box there. Narrowly outside of the tackle box. We got Ron Torbert talking to... Yeah, it's going to be 4th and 2. Yeah, they set it up. Yeah, he was not in the tackle box, and that was a forward pass. So Braden Mann on to punt it. It's the 2nd punt for the Eagles. It's going to get fielded at about the 12-yard line and fair caught by Jaden Reed. So that is going to bring up a 1st and 10 for the Packers. 7:21 left in the third. 2 3-and-outs in a row, which not great if you're the Eagles right now. Eagles haven't had 3-and-outs since the first 2 plays of the half or of the game, or the first 2 drives of the game, really. And 3-and-out is generous for those because they both ended on offensive miscues. The first drive ended on an interception. Second drive ended on the fumble recovery. So, yeah. So this part of that's not great. But again, this is a really solid defensive battle. It's just a matter of which offense is going to be able to overcome the defensive battles here, because the Packers didn't do so great last time either. The Packers' last drive only lasted four plays, went 12 yards. So but definitely drop a comment in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are about this game, what you're seeing. What's got you excited? What has you concerned? Love to hear from you. Appreciate all of you for tuning in one way or the other. If you're new here, please feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Even sharing the stream really helps. Yeah, we're just kind of hanging out here. In case of curiosity, because this is the only other Philadelphia-related thing that's going on in the sports world right now, the Phillies did defeat the Marlins by a final score of 16-2. So, yeah. Talk about something that was lifeless over there. Both teams are holding watch parties at their respective stadiums. Packers holding theirs in Titletown. The Eagles holding theirs at Lincoln Financial Field. And the shots of Lincoln Financial Field, that watch party was sold out. So we're back. Love is under center, back in the backfield. Man going in motion to the near side. Love takes the snap, hands it off to Jacobs. Jacobs is going to dodge a tackle in the backfield and is going to get up to about the 21-yard line. So that's going to be a pickup of about 8. And it's going to bring up a 2nd and 2 for the Packers. We are approaching the 7-minute mark here in the third quarter. They'll actually credit him up to the 22-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd and 1 for the Packers. Regardless, I do want to see things. I do want to see the Eagles' defense tighten things up a little bit here. They've had a few miscues. Love under center takes a snap, hands it off to Jacobs. He's going to roll to the outside and is going to pick up a bunch there. Gets to about the, let's call that about the 28 or 29-yard line. So that's a solid pickup and does give the Packers a first down. We do have a flag down, though. So we are going to check on this flag. And they're going to get Rasheed Walker for offensive holdings. So that's going to march the Packers back. It's going to bring up 2nd and 11 for the Packers. Sends them back to the 12. Oh yeah, that is holding. That is holding. All right, so we got 6.5 left in the third quarter here. Love is in the gun. We've got an empty backfield. Love takes a snap. Back, looking. He's going to throw, and that is that picked off? Is that picked off? Does he have that? Picked off by Reed Blankenship, and that is going to be a key turnover for the Eagles. Gives them the ball deep in Packers territory. Picked off at the 24-yard line by Reed Blankenship. Coming in from Nowheresville to take that. That was really good. That was solid there. And that's definitely clear. That is an interception. Zach Bond was on the coverage. Love was looking for Luke Musgrave, but couldn't. That was Reed Blankenship just comes right in, comes right in and takes that ball. It was just a hair off the mark, and he earned his paycheck today. So we got Hurts in the gun, back to his right. Hurts takes the snap, back, looking. Pressure coming, he's going to throw. Hurts finds Devontae Smith. Smith is going to get down to about the 16-yard line, and that is going to bring up a 2nd down and 2 for the Eagles from the Green Bay Packers 16-yard line. So Hurts now lines up in the gun. Got it back to his right. A.J. Brown wide out to the near side. Hurts calls for the football. Hands it off to Barkley. Barkley going to pick up the first down and gets a bunch more. Gets down to the 11 before he's brought down, and that is going to bring up an Eagles first down. So the Eagles knocking on the doorstep. This is one of those things, momentum in a football game that's very real, and this was we'll see if the Eagles can capitalize on this here. Hurts in the gun, back to his left, bunch formation to the near side. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley going to power forward, gets inside the 5, down to about the 3-yard line. That's where forward progress gets stopped. We are inside of 5 minutes left in the third quarter, and that is going to bring up a 2nd and 1 situation. They will credit Barkley up to the 2, so that's a 9-yard pickup for the Eagles. And the Eagles are right there, right on the doorstep. They only need to get 1 yard to get a touchdown, or to get the first down. So they only need to get to the 1 yard line for a first down. Hurts is in the gun. We got it back to his right. Hurts hands it off to Barkley. Barkley is going to get in for the touchdown. That is a touchdown for the Eagles. The Eagles make the Packers pay for the interception. just a hair off the mark. And Saquon Barkley again coming in with a big, big touchdown for the Eagles. And we've got 4:26 left in the third here, so we do still have plenty of time in this game. But this might become a shootout. 4:26 left. Saquon Barkley has 3 of the Eagles' 4 touchdowns. Jake Elliott on for the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. 4:26 left to play in the third quarter. Eagles have taken the lead. It is 31-26. Eagles up by 4. Or Eagles up by 5, I apologize. Yeah, Saquon Barkley has 3 of the Eagles' 4 touchdowns. So that is, again, that's a big thing here. And the Eagles make the Packers pay because the Eagles had a couple of 3-and-outs. Packers were forced into a little bit there, and then just the Eagles were able to take this here. So now we'll see whether or not the Eagles' defense is able to keep that momentum, keep the Packers off the field as much as possible. Let me know what your thoughts are in the chat. Love to hear from you. What are your thoughts about this game? What are you liking about it? Any concerns at this point? Me personally, there's a lot of time left on this clock. We're 4:26 left in the third quarter here. There's still plenty of football to be played. My concern is, can the Eagles hold on to this for the rest of this game here? I will say the Packers are averaging about 2 minutes. I'm doing a little bit of math here. It's just eyeballing it really. But the Packers are averaging about 2 minutes worth of drive possession time on average. Most of that coming from the first half. So Saquon Barkley is the second player with 3 touchdowns in the Eagles' debut. The first was in 2004 with Terrell Owens, which is a name I don't think I would have heard recently. Braden Mann's going to be on to kick this away. And that's going to go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Packers will take over at their own 30-yard line. Yep, Saquon Barkley. It's been the Saquon Barkley show today here, guys, on the offense. Jalen Hurts has been strategic about using his other weapons. Hurts is 16 for 26 so far this game, 229 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns through the air. But Saquon Barkley, 15 carries for 60 yards. So we got Love now in the gun, back to his left. Love takes a snap, back looking, throws. That is going to be caught and is going to be brought down immediately. But it is at about 2 yards shy of the first down marker. That is Romeo Doubs on the reception. It's a 9-yard pickup, actually, is where they will credit him. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 1 for the Packers from the 39-yard line. So we're approaching 4 minutes. We're at 4 minutes left in this third quarter here. Love in the gun, back to his left. Love takes the snap, Hands it off to Jacobs. Jacobs is going to pick up about 3 there. So that is going to give the Packers a first down. And we are at 3:40, 3:39, 38, 37, 36, 35 left in the third. So we got Love lining them up. Love's in the gun. We got a back to his right. Man in motion. Love takes the snap. He's back. He's looking. Pressure coming. Love's going to throw, and it is incomplete. He was looking for Dontavian Wicks, and Wicks just could not hold on to it. Quinyon Mitchell came right in there and broke that pass up. And that is going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Packers. Yep, Quinyon Mitchell there. That was definitely clean. Didn't lay really much of more of it on there. It was in his hands at least. So Quinyon Mitchell doesn't get that, and that is an incomplete pass. 3:07 left in the third. Love in the gun, takes a snap, dumps it off to Josh Jacobs. Jacobs is going to get into Eagles territory, does pick up the first down, gets to about the 47. The 42-yard line, or the 47-yard line. And now we've got an Eagle down here. That's Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. He's looking at his hand. Gesturing to his hand. Trainer's coming out. Hope he's okay. That was an 11-yard pickup for Jacobs. Gets him down to the Eagles' 47-yard line. So it'll bring up 1st and 10. We do have a stoppage right now. Also looks like Quinyon Mitchell is injured as well a little bit. So C.J. Gardner-Johnson coming off the field. On his own power. Again, it looks like it was a hand injury, so just based on where the gestures are. They have Quinyon Mitchell marked as injured during the play as well. I don't know what his injury is. So I'm sure we'll get an update on that. Tristan McCullum comes in. 2:40 left in the third. Love lines up under center. We got a back behind him in the backfield. Love takes a snap. Hands it off to Jacobs. Jacobs is going to break through, gets the first down, gets a whole bunch more, gets down to about the 25-yard line, and that's where the Packers will pick it up. It is a 22-yard pickup. That is his longest of the game so far, and that is going to bring up a first down for the Packers. So Reed Blankenship and Darius Slay kind of came in there on the stop. Love lines up under center. Jacobs deep in the backfield. Love takes a snap, hands it off to Jacobs. Jacobs going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage immediately. No gain. That is going to be Zach Baun, who's going to be credited with the stop. And that's going to bring up 2nd and 10. We're inside of 2 minutes, by the way, left in the third quarter here. Yeah, we're at about 1:19, 18, 17, 16, 15 left in the third. We got Love in the gun. Moves Wilson to his left. Love takes a snap, dumps it off to Wilson. Wilson's going to get dropped in the backfield for no real gain there as well. Maybe a negligible loss. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10 for the Packers from the Eagles' 25-yard line. Zach Baun, 11 combined tackles, 1 sack. So far on this game, 8 of them solo, 3 assists. Love in the gun, back to his right. Love. Takes a snap. He's back. He's looking. Love's going to throw, and it's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Jaden Reed, and Reed could not haul it in there. That's going to bring up fourth down. Clock is stopped at 21 seconds left, and we'll see if the Packers decide to send the field goal unit on. And they do. So that is going to be Braden Narveson on for the field goal. Daniel Whelan on to hold it. So far, Narveson is 2 for 2. This is a 43-yarder. It's the longest attempt so far for the Packers. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is no good. No good. It is wide right, and the Eagles will take over. The stats are marking that it hit the right upright. Yes, it did. Shanked off the right upright and no good. So the Eagles will take over at their own 33-yard line, and Nick Sirianni is doing the same thing every Eagles fan is right now, just flying. So we got 1st and 10 from the Eagles 33. We got Jalen Hurts in the gun. We got Barkley to his right. We got a man in motion. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley going to pound up the middle, gets the first down and more. Gets into the Packers territory, down to the 40, down to the 35-yard line, and that is where he's going to get stopped down at the Packers 33, but that is going to do it for the third quarter. We have 15 minutes of play left in this first game of the season, folks, for the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Philadelphia Eagles are on top and in Packers territory, hoping to make them pay for a missed field goal. And the Eagles fans in Brazil are excited. 15 minutes of play left in this game. Eagles are on top 31-26. We got our, I think, is that our first doink of the season? That might be our first doink of the season. Let's check on the Kansas City-Baltimore game. Was there any doinks in that? No doinks in the Kansas City-Baltimore game last night. So yeah, this is our first doink of the season. Yeah, I'll say it came at a really good time for the Eagles, that first doink. But yeah, definitely feel free to drop a like, subscribe, drop a comment in the chat. How are you feeling about this game? 15 minutes left. 15 minutes left. How are you feeling? Quick recap of the third quarter. Definitely a lot more Packers offense this time than Eagles offense. The Packers had the ball for 9 minutes and 15 seconds of that third quarter compared to the Eagles 5:45. But when the Eagles had the ball, they made the overwhelming majority of their possessions count. There were a couple of disappointments. Certainly the 3 and outs that occurred towards the beginning of the third quarter, not great. But the Eagles were able to recapture some of that momentum there, and certainly hoping that they hold on to it, given the how this went. The end of the third quarter went for the Packers. So you're now in the start of the fourth quarter. All They're massaging somebody's calves. We are back. Jalen Hurts lines up in the gun. We got a back to his left. Man in motion. Hurts. Making a quick change. Then calls for the football. Hurts. Snap. And then it's tipped immediately at the throw. Incomplete. It was a quick snap, quick throw. And it was a quick tip. Incomplete. And that was Cooper there on the stop. Edger and Cooper. He was looking for A.J. Brown, according to the stat board. Yeah, I would say that that's a good solid target there. A.J. Brown was looking for him. Yeah, that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10, quick 2nd and 10. So we got Hurts now in the gun with an empty backfield. Hurts calls for the football. He's back. He's looking. Quick throw. That's going to be caught over the middle by Grant Calcaterra, and that's going to be an Eagles first down. He gets up to the first down marker, gets to the Green Bay Packers 22. And that is going to, yeah. We are at 14:40 left in this game. So we got Hurts in the gun, empty backfield again. Hurts calls for the football. He's back. He's looking. He's throwing. That's going to be caught. And that's going to be A.J. Brown. And that's going to be a first down around the 11-yard line. And the Eagles are once again knocking on the doorstep. They are in the red zone. Yep, found A.J. Brown quite quickly there. And we are at about the 14-minute mark. Hurts is in the gun. Barkley to his left. Hurts making some quick changes at the line. Hurts calls for the football. Fakes the handoff to Barkley. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to get sacked. So he's going to lose about 4 there on that. It's going to bring up 2nd and 13 from the Green Bay Packers 14. So they will credit him only to the 14. His forward progress credited to the 14 there. So got 13 and a half left in this game. So Hurts is in the gun. We got a back to his left. Hurts calls for the football. Fakes the handoff to Barkley. Fakes a throw. Hurts is going to actually throw, and it is incomplete. Nearly picked off by number 25, Keyshawn Nixon. And that is going to bring up a 3rd and 13 situation here. Hurts was looking for Jahan Dotson. Eagles need to get to the 1-yard line for a first down, so they don't need to score. It is possible for the Eagles to score to get a first down here without scoring a touchdown. But we do have Hurts now in the gun. We have an empty backfield. We got Jahan Dotson wide out to the near side. Brown in the slot to the near side. Hurts takes a snap. He's back. He's looking. Pressure's coming. Hurts is going to roll out to his right. Hurts is going to throw, and that is picked off in the end zone. Picked off in the end zone. And that's going to be run out of the end zone. And I don't know why you would run that out of the end zone if you could just take the knee and get a touchback. But Jair Alexander there on the interception. That was just a bad throw. That was just a bad throw. He was looking for A.J. Brown, and A.J. Brown was on the ground there. So I don't know if it was like a little bit of a slip up there, but that was perfectly placed for Jair Alexander to just pick it off. And Jair Alexander is responsible for the pick that occurred earlier in the game too. So would have been nice for the Eagles to make the Packers pay for missing the field goal there, but it was a bad, but hopefully they make them pay for Keyshawn Nixon's decision to run the ball out of the end zone, because if he takes a knee there, it's 1st and 10 for the Packers from their own 20, compared to now it's 1st and 10 from their own 14. So Devontae Smith is credited with the stop there for Jair Alexander, but this Eagles team never makes it easy for us as fans, and never makes it easy for the city. Again, the Eagles had an opportunity to put their foot firmly on the gas pedal, and instead there was a little bit of a bad throw that was perfectly placed for Jair Alexander to pick that off. So, I'm sorry, Xavier McKinney was responsible for the early one, but Jair Alexander is responsible for this one. That's my bad. My bad. All right. Now it's time for the Eagles defense to shut this whole operation down here. Eagles are still on top by 5. That's basically what's been going on for most of this game here since the first quarter. The teams have been trading leads. There have been 7 lead changes in this game so far. So we got Love in the gun. We got it back to his right. Man in motion. Love takes a snap, hands it off to Jacobs. Jacobs is going to pick up the first down, gets to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, to the 45 is where he's finally pushed out by Nakobe Dean. There were missed tackles all over that. I do not like this. I do not like how this looks. I do not like how this feels. This is not great, bub. There were missed tackles all over. C.J. Gardner-Johnson could not wrap him up. Should have wrapped him up right there and just didn't. All right. Love in the gun. Back to his right. Love takes a snap, hands it off to Jacobs. Jacobs is going to get dropped behind the line of scrimmage. All right. So that's going to be a loss of 1. It's going to bring up for 2nd and 11 from the Packers 44. They're showing this replay here. We'll see whether or not. Yeah, that was a slip by A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown slipped in the end zone. I'm chalking that up a little bit there too. This is a bad field. All right, so we got Love in the gun, back to his right. Love takes the snap, back, looking, throwing. That's going to be caught by Christian Watson right at midfield. We are at 11 and a half minutes left in this game. 3rd and 5 from midfield. Quinyon Mitchell was there on the stop. Eagles have a big 3rd down right here. The Eagles need to get the Packers off the field. Big 3rd down coming up. Love in the gun with an empty backfield. Love. Moving in. Inside of 11 minutes left. Love takes a snap. Back, looking, pressure coming. Love's going to throw and is a wide open Jaden Reed because he's been able to make us pay this entire game. And that is a solid 26-yard pickup, and that is going to bring up a Packers first down. So the Eagles give up another first down. Now, the Packers are 3 for 9 on 3rd downs, and the Eagles are 4 for 12. So both offenses are at about 33%, but it feels like the Packers' 3rd downs have come at 3rd down conversions have come at more critical moments. 10:15 left in the 4th. Love under center, back in the backfield. Love takes a snap, hands it off to Wilson. Wilson's going to get to the 20, going to get down to the 15-yard line. That's where he's going to get stopped. It's going to be 2nd and 1. Right about 10 minutes left in the game. Second and 1 for the Packers from the Eagles' 15-yard line. Packers are 1 for 3 in the red zone. Eagles hoping to make it 1 for 4 here. 9.5 left in the game. Love under center, back in the backfield. Love takes a snap, fakes a handoff to Wilson. Love going to throw, and now it's going to be caught by Wilson. It is complete for a first down, pickup of 2. And that is going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Packers from the 13-yard line. So, again, Eagles hoping to hold the Packers to just a field goal here. Hoping to hold on to the lead. 9 minutes left in the game. Jalen Hurts, meanwhile, having a conversation with his lineman. Love in the gun, back to his right. Love takes a snap, hands it off to Jacobs. Jacobs is going to get to about the 10-yard line, gets to about the 9, to the 8-yard line is where forward progress is finally declared to be stopped. So we got 8.5 minutes left in this game thereabouts. 8.5 minutes right now. Both teams do have all 3 timeouts. It's 2nd and 5 for the Packers from the Eagles' 8-yard line. Packers have to get to the 3 for a first down. Love's under center. Got a back in the backfield. Love takes the snap. Fakes the handoff. Pressure coming. Love throwing for the end zone, incomplete. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 5 for the Packers. Just kind of throws it away. It's well out of the back of the end zone, almost through the uprights. So we got clock is stopped right now at 8:01 left in the game. It's 3rd and 5 for the Packers. Love is in the gun. There's an empty backfield. Love takes the snap. He's back. Pressure coming. Love's hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. He was looking for Romeo Doubs, and Doubs just could not haul it in. Love was hit as he threw, too. So I think that was who was that? Mora Ojomo, I think, gets the credit for that. Avonte Maddox was there on the coverage. Yeah, Mora Ojomo hits Love as he throws. And that's going to send the Packers field goal unit on. So the Eagles defense able to hold the Packers critically here to a field goal. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. With 7 minutes and 52 seconds left to play in the game, the Packers narrow the lead. It is the Eagles 31, the Packers 29. So, yeah, drop a comment in the chat. Love to hear from you as we're rounding into the final few minutes of this game here. 7:52 left in the game. Love to hear what your thoughts are. Love to hear what things are, or what you're thinking. Honestly, for me, like right now, the Eagles defense is doing a good enough job of holding the Packers to keeping the Packers out of the end zone. But there were mistakes that occurred, and the Eagles have not been able to capitalize on some of them. The fact that the Packers shanked a field goal. We have our first doink of the season off of the foot of Braden Narvison. And the fact that the Eagles were not able to capitalize on that. The fact that the Eagles, due to another offensive miscue, again, you could chalk it up to the field because A.J. Brown slipped in the end zone. But realistically, like, you got to be able to catch the football. And you can't be throwing it to the Packers. So, the fact that they came on an interception, but simultaneously the fact that there's Again, credit to the Eagles' defense here, because the Eagles' defense is holding the Packers to field goals in many of these situations. So, hey, Crow, good to hear from you. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. I know it looks like you're a Packers fan, but happy to have you here. Thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate your support. Feel free to like and subscribe if you're new here. Anybody who's new here, love to have you aboard for the season. We're just kind of hanging out here. I will say this: it has been a good game. The NFL really gave Brazil a really good game, just in terms of like football. All right, so Braden Narveson is on to kick this away, and that is going to get fielded in the end zone for a touchback. So the Eagles will take over at their own 30-yard line. I know, yeah, really good game. Yeah, I'm just not thrilled with the I'm definitely not thrilled with the quality of the field, what it looks like. They just did a little time lapse here of getting the field ready, and there's just been way too much slipping and sliding on this field here. Hurts is in the gun back behind him. Calcaterra in motion. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley's going to roll to the outside. Does pick up about does lose actually about 2. Is dropped in the backfield. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 12 for the Eagles from their own 28. Why can't you watch the game if you've got NFL Sunday Ticket? Because NFL Sunday Ticket is only operable on Sundays. This game is exclusively streamed on Peacock. So if you're in so I think you have to have NFL Plus Premium for that in order to catch this game if you don't want to subscribe to Peacock. Now, if you're in the Philadelphia or the Green Bay areas, you can catch this on your local NBC 10 station. But outside of that, the only legal ways really are to subscribe to Peacock or NFL Plus Premium. All right, so we got Hurts in the gun. We got a back to his left. Calcaterra goes in motion. Now Hurts is making a couple of changes at the line here. We got about 7:15 left in the game here. Hurts is in the gun, takes a snap, fakes a handoff. He's back. He's got time. He's still looking. Pressure's now coming. Hurts is going to roll to his right, and Hurts is going to launch this away. There is a flag down, so we're going to check on this flag. We're inside of 7 minutes left in the game here. They will get Jair Alexander for defensive holding. So that is going to result in an Eagles first down. Marches the Eagles up to the 33-yard line. So yeah, Jair Alexander, yeah, I've seen worse holds, but 6:59 left in the game. Hurts is in the gun. Barkley to his left. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley is going to get through, gets up to the 42-yard line. That's about a 9-yard pickup for the Eagles. We are at 6:49, 48, 47, 46, 45 left in this game. A.J. Brown, I guess, got shaken up on an earlier play, but he has returned to the game. 6.5 left in the game here. Second and 1. Hurts is in the gun. Barkley is to his left. Hurts takes a snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley is going to get the first down, and that's all he's going to get. Gets the 1 yard, but that's all that's good. That's all that's needed. Actually, they're going to credit him to the 44 for 2. So, but that's all that's needed because it's a first down. Eagles have the ball, and they're going to keep moving here. We are inside of 6 minutes left in the game here. Eagles are driving. $14 yards on 3 plays, and they're churning clock right now, which is the goal. Eagles hoping to extend their lead. Hurts is in the gun. We got an empty backfield. Hurts takes a snap. No, the play clock was at 0. They did call a timeout. So Eagles will spend the first timeout of the half at 5:30 left in the game here. So they've got 2 remaining. There we go. So it'll still be 1st and 10, and they put 3 seconds back on the clock. So 1st and 10 from the Eagles' 44. Eagles are really hoping to turn the page on last season. They lost 6 of their last 7 games. Eagles hoping to make a drive here to put them up by 2 scores. Hurts is in the gun. Empty backfield. Hurts takes the snap. He's back. He's looking. He's got time. He's going to take off. Hurts is going to get into Packer territory and gets down around the 48-yard line before he slides. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 2 situation. Yep, it's 2nd and 2 from the Packers' 48-yard line. So we have we are inside of 5 minutes probably by the time this ball gets snapped next, left in the game here. That wasn't a designed run, but it was good heads up by Hurts to take off. So Hurts is in the gun, empty backfield. It's 2nd and 2. Hurts takes the snap. He's going to do a quick throw over to Kenny Gainwell, and Gainwell is going to pick up the first down. We do have a flag down, so we're going to check on this flag. Clock has stopped at 4:48 left in the game. And they will get the Eagles for illegal formation, so that's going to march them back a little bit. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 7. They get Lane Johnson for the illegal formation. So that was a penalty they were calling quite a bit last night. The helmet of everybody on the line has to break the belt of the center. All right, so Hurts in the gun. Back to his right. That's Kenny Gainwell in. Hurts going to take the snap, fakes the handoff to Gainwell, throws, and almost picked off is Jair Alexander. Hurts was looking for A.J. Brown, but that was like right in the thing of Jair. And now we have a flag down, so we're going to check on this flag. And that's going to be an ineligible receiver downfield, but that penalty is going to be declined, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 7. This is their best game yet, Tyrone. Yeah, I see that. I mean, it's definitely the Eagles' best game compared to all 3 of the preseason games. All right, so we got Hurts now in the gun. We got a back to his right. Hurts making some moves now. Now has split backs. Hurts takes the snap. He's back. He's looking. He's got time. He's got plenty of time. He's going to take off. He's going to get back into Packers territory, but is not going to get the first down. Is going to get stuffed a little bit short. There is a flag down. So we're going to check on this flag. .432 is where the clock is stopped right now, left in this game. Eagles holding on to a 2-point lead. And they get Clark for defensive holding, so that hands the Eagles a first down. So that battle right there is going to end on a penalty there. Kenny Clark, defensive lineman, gets dinged for defensive holding. Yeah, that's a hold on Barkley. Oh yeah, that is egregious. All right, so we got Jalen Hurts in the gun. Saquon Barkley behind him. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley going to pick up, let's call that 2. Thereabouts. Clock is inside of 4 minutes and 20 seconds now left in this game. It's a game that's on the edge of everybody's seat. It's a good game, good debut for the NFL in South America. Approaching the 4-minute mark here in this game. Eagles have 2 timeouts. Packers have all 3. Eagles are on top by 2. Hurts is in the gun. We have an empty backfield. Hurts takes a snap. He's back. He's looking. Pressure's going to come. Hurts is going to run. Hurts is going to take off, gets to about the 35, down to the 33-yard line, and that is a first down for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts picks it up on his legs, picks up 8 yards on a scramble, and while, yes, he is brought down by Stokes and by Quay Walker, by Eric Stokes and by Quay Walker, that is going to give the Eagles a first down, and perhaps more importantly here, the clock does keep running, because that was down in bounds, so... Oh, yeah, and Hurts got a little bit of help from the Packers, too, in terms of that. All right, we're approaching the 3-minute mark. Hurts in the gun, back behind him. Hurts takes a snap, hands it off to Barkley, who's going to lose 3. That was dumb. That was dumb. Like, Barkley gets right back up to where Hurts was and then just stops. That was not great. We are at about 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in this game. This might be the last play before the 2-minute warning. We'll see. Eagles have Hurts in the gun, back to his right. Hurts takes the snap, back, looking. Hurts is going to throw. Caught by Devontae Smith. Gets down inside the 25, down to the 20. That is an Eagles first down. Down to the 19-yard line is where they spot him down. They do spot him down out of bounds. So the Eagles do have to get have another play to get the clock moving before they get to the 2-minute warning. I don't know. No, that was inbounds. That was an inbound stoppage. Or that was an inbounds downing, so he should not be down out. Oh, he's down. Oh, the clock stopped because Green Bay took a timeout. That's my bad. Green Bay took their first timeout of the half. They have got 2 remaining. 2:15 left in this game. So both teams have 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. It's 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Ball is on the Green Bay Packers 19-yard line. If the Eagles score here, I will say it's going to be very hard if the Eagles score a touchdown here, it's going to be very hard for the Packers to come back from that. So Hurts is in the gun, back to his left. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley is going to pick up, let's call that about 2. Yep, that is going to be 2. It's going to be 2nd and 8 from the Packers' 17-yard line. And I believe the Packers called their second timeout. Yep, timeout number 2 by Green Bay. That they've got 1 remaining. Clock is stopped at 2:10 left in this game. Again, we have not yet even reached the 2-minute warning, folks. But overall, I mean, this has been a really, really, really good game. Just NFL standpoint. Like, I'm not even talking about, like, Eagles fan. Eagles fan wise, there's definitely some stuff to be concerned about. Not a fan of some of these missed tackles that I'm seeing. Yeah. But 2:10 left in the game. Hurts in the gun. Barkley to his right. Jahan Dotson wide out to the near side. A.J. Brown in the slot. Hurts takes the snap. Throws. Caught. First down. And that is down to about the 6-yard line. And that was Devontae Smith. So Devontae Smith brings us to the 2-minute warning. 120 seconds left in this game. And the Philadelphia Eagles are on top. It is 1st and goal when we come back from the commercial. Eagles 31, Packers 29. So that was a big first down there because that's going to set the Eagles up. Eagles are on top right now. They've got 2 timeouts. The Packers only have 1 timeout after we come back from the 2-minute warning here. And, yeah, this is a 12-play, 64-yard drive that's taken 5 minutes and 52 seconds. Now, at this particular point in time, I'm expecting the Packers to get the ball back, so it's not like it's going to be a situation where like the Eagles can just hold the ball for the rest of the game. Eagles are on 1st and goal. They have to score in the next 4 plays. Or the Packers will get the ball back deep in their own territory. In a best worst case scenario. But yeah, the fact that this has gone on for the fact that this has drained almost all of this clock. And I think that's a big thing that I'm going to point out here is like the Eagles after those first 2, like when the Eagles have had a long sustained drive, which is what most of their drives have been, the Eagles have been going for 4 minutes, 5 minutes, in the 4 minutes, 5 minutes throughout the game. I would say probably their average time of their average drive time length is, let's call that, I'd say probably about 3.5 minutes on average. Compare that to the Packers, where the Packers offensively, their drive length in terms of time, their longest drive has been 4 minutes and 5 seconds, and that was their second drive that ended in a field goal. The Packers have not had. Their longest drive was the 5:01 that ended in the field goal. This was their most recent one. But I would say right now, like the Packers, just eyeballing this, the Packers average probably about 2 minutes, maybe 2.5. So the fact that the Eagles are on average holding the ball for longer on a drive is one of the biggest like decision makers for this game because the Eagles are just churning clock right now. We are back from the 2-minute warning. We've got Jalen Hurts in the gun. We've got Saquon Barkley to his left. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley is going to get down to the 4-yard line, picks up 2. It's going to bring up 2nd and goal for the Eagles. And that is where the Packers are going to take their final timeout. So the Packers are out of timeouts. The Eagles still have 2 remaining in the event they want to they need to burn them for whatever reason, which they could. When the Packers get the ball back, we'll see where the situation is on that front, but if the Eagles do score a touchdown here, it does become a 2-score game. So obviously that's the goal for the Eagles, is to score a touchdown, and then that, again, it's a 2-score game. And that would just about do it. But we got Hurts now in the gun. It's 2nd and goal. Ball's on the 4. We got Saquon Barkley to his left. We got Devontae Smith wide out. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley is going to get down to the 1. Does he get in? I think he might just be a hair short. Yeah, the officials are coming in right about the 1-yard line to mark forward progress stopped there. So we got 1:40 left in this game and counting. Again, the Packers cannot stop the clock anymore. Eagles are 3rd and goal from the 1. And it would be nice if the Eagles could hand it off to Saquon Barkley. They could. They've done that before. They've done that so far for the. Saquon Barkley has 3 of the Eagles' 4 touchdowns. All right, the Eagles will take a timeout at 1:12 left in the game here. So the Eagles will take an extra 30 seconds to think it over. A.J. Brown and Saquon Barkley having a little bit of a conversation as they're walking over to the sideline, grabbing some water. Everybody's taking a moment here. It's 3rd and 1. We'll see what the Eagles decide to do here. Again, if the Eagles score a touchdown here, as the camera cuts to Howie Roseman, who put this roster together. Big acquisition in free agency was Saquon Barkley. .72 seconds left in this game, and the Eagles look like they're lining up for the brotherly shove. And that is exactly, no. It was a little bit of a fake kind of situation, and Saquon Barkley winds up losing a couple yards. The only advantage to this, yeah, it's a flubbed snap there. Saquon Barkley has the heads up to fall on it. Thank God. That's going to bring up 4th and goal for the Eagles from the Packers 3, though. And we're inside of 40 seconds left in this game. So offensive miscues do mar the Eagles a little bit. The Eagles should be up by much more than they are now. Okay, and Nick Sirianni takes the Eagles' final timeout at the 30-second mark in this game. So there are 30 seconds left. Remember, nobody can stop the clock at this point anymore. The Packers have not been able to stop the clock for a couple minutes. So they're going to send Jake Elliott out to kick a field goal. So that's going to force the Packers to have to march down the field to get a touchdown in less than 30 seconds. This is a 21-yard attempt. Everybody set. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. 27 seconds left in this game, and the Eagles extend their lead to back up to 5. It is the Eagles 34, Packers 29. We do have a flag down, so we're going to check on this flag. Offsides, so that's going to, or they get Xavier McKinney for the offsides. That penalty is declined, so the points will stand. And now the Eagles are going to get ready to kick this off. And the Packers will have one more shot. The Eagles' defense is going to have to hold it down. If you're new here, definitely drop a like, subscribe. Really helps the channel out. And then even if you're not new here, please feel free to share. Really helps the channel. And then, yeah, just feel free to drop a comment. Would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts about this game? Again, I think this has been a really good game just in terms of football. And you know what? I'm even more happy that the Eagles appear poised to take this game, but we shall see what happens here. There's still 27 seconds left. Anything can happen. We saw that last night. Braden Mann is on to kick it, and it is going to get fielded in the end zone and brought out to the 10. Out to the 15 is where it's going to get dropped. That was Keyshawn Nixon on the kick return, and that actually burned some clock. So I'm a little surprised that the Packers allowed that to happen. So it was 1st and 10 for the Packers from their own 16, whereas if he had just taken the knee, it would have been 1st and 10 from the 30. But instead, they turn it out, so we've got 22 seconds left. And now the Packers have farther to go. All right, so we got Love in the gun back to his right. Love takes the snap. He's back. He's going to roll out to his left. Love is just going to chuck it downfield, and we have an open Jaden Reed. Was that complete? That was complete and out of bounds. So that's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Packers. Yeah, that is a complete catch. So that's going to be at the 49-yard line. Love in the gun, takes the snap, back, pressure coming. Love is going to get wrapped up, and he's going to dump it back to Josh Jacobs, and Josh Jacobs is going to run to the out-of-bounds marker. We got 5 seconds left, and that is going to get up to the Eagles' 45-yard line. And now Jordan Love is down on the ground and injured, it looks like. He's got to flex his leg here. Trainers are out. This is not an injury. This is not going to be an excess injury timeout. They are prepping Malik Willis to come in for the last play of this game. This is not good for the Packers. I hope Jordan Love's okay. Jalen Carter gets the quarterback hit. And then Josh Sweat is also involved there. And everybody's just kind of there with Jordan Love. Certainly he's done all that he can to keep everything going, and he is going to limp a little bit, but he is walking. He's getting support from the training staff. And that's going to bring on, as he walks off, Malik Willis is coming in. And again, that's definitely disappointing, and I certainly hope that Jordan Love's okay. We don't wish injury on anybody, and that is definitely a disappointing way for anybody to go out in their first game here. They're going to check on Love. This will probably wind up being the last play of the game. And the ball is going to be on the 47-yard line of the Eagles. So we got Malik Willis now in for the final play. Josh Jacobs lines up to his left. Willis takes the snap. He's back. He's looking. He is throwing, and it is incomplete, and the clock is stopped at 3 seconds left. He was looking for Romeo Doubs and just couldn't find him. It was at his feet. So 3 seconds left, so this will be the last play of the game. This is definitely a situation of concern for Green Bay here with Jordan Love because he is their franchise QB. Just got an extension done. 3 seconds left. Willis in the gun, back to his left. Willis takes the snap, back. Pressure coming. Willis. Hail Mary is not going to go because he's going to get sacked, and that is going to do it. And that will be the final score. The Philadelphia Eagles hold on at the end, 34-29. And the Eagles start the season off as they have for the last few, going 1-0. And ultimately, at the end of the day, that's all that you can ask for is going 1-0 over the course of the week, or over the course of each week. So, mad props to the Packers because they put up one heck of a fight. They really did, and you can't this was an impressive game. It really was. It was an impressive game, and there's a lot to be thrilled about. If you're an Eagles fan, there's a lot to not be. Certainly the biggest concern, and as you see Jalen Hurts going over to shake the hand of Jordan Love, who is on the bench right now, had to watch those last two plays. Jalen Hurts going over to give him a handshake of congratulations. Nice or good game. All that jazz. Talk about a great game. Just in general. And the Eagles get to come home. And the Eagles will play again week 2 on Monday Night Football. They'll take on the Atlanta Falcons for the home opener at Lincoln Financial Field. And again, this was a absent the Jordan Love injury, which again, I hope he's okay. It's definitely concerning. And we don't wish injury on anybody. The Eagles came out and held on. And this was a matchup between two really good quarterbacks. Two really good teams. And the Eagles held on and were the better team in the end of the day. So, well, that'll do it. That was our first regular season game, and you could not ask for a better one. You really just could not for the Eagles. So, well done on that front. And definitely some stuff to grow from. Definitely some stuff to improve upon. But overall, what a great game. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get a little bit of a recap episode of the Birds Nest podcast going here. So we're going to get that up later on this evening. But overall, yeah, this was... thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you. We had a number of you sticking around throughout this entire game. And it really helps the channel. If you have not yet, please feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps me grow, helps me get better content out to you. But I'm going to get moving on this, but thank you so much for watching. I'm Joe Donahue. And Vo Agias. Go Eagles.